Welcome, gamers, to Basement Arcade Pause Menu, the show where we hit pause, sit back, and just chill. I'm your host, Ben Magnet, and audio listeners, you probably can't see this, but whoever's watching this, you see my Keyblade, you see my art, you probably see my shirt right here. We're talking Kingdom Hearts today. This year, 2022, marks Kingdom Hearts' 20th anniversary. Now, the official anniversary has already passed, but of course, with my recording schedule and what my life is like right now, this is the only time I'm able to record, so we're talking about it now, so better late than never. But guess what, my friends and my viewers and my listeners and everyone who loves Basement Arcade Pause Menu, I am not alone. I am joined by a friend of mine from Twitter. She's also she is a lot of things. She's a Twitch streamer. She was a guest on Lack of Genius podcast, which I was also a guest on. So we're podcast buddies like that. And also probably the coolest one, besides the fact that she's a diehard Kingdom Hearts fan, she's also a freaking professional opera singer. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Divatron 9000, a.k.a. Alissa Roca.
Hello.
And I have to do this because I'm a performer. Oh! I probably just blew out all the mic, and I have never been happier that I'm recording this alone in my house. No one else is here.
I frequently break microphones, so I understand.
Oh, I feel so bad. My editor, Sparks, he's also my co-host on the Fake Nerd podcast. He's got me looking through this going, Jesus Christ, Ben, what the shit?
We get excited. We get excited about all the things, and if people are upset about that, send them to me. We'll fight. We'll throw hands.
Okay. Well, I assume you're going to have a Keyblade in your hand. So.
Oh, yeah. One of the many that are behind me, if anyone can see them.
Yeah. Audio listeners, we do like a little bit pre-show here on Basement Arcade Pause Menu where I talk to the guests. We just like field questions and I let them know how the show works. But looking at her background right now, she has pretty much almost all the Keyblades from all the major characters. From what I can see personally, she has the Oathkeeper and Oblivion crossed. She has the trio from Birth by Sleep back there. She also, when she moved her chair earlier, she has Lee's, Riku's, Kairi's, the Shooting Star. It's like, how many Keyblades do you have? And it makes me envious because I only have 3.
I think the count is 11, but I want more.
I mean, who doesn't? We're like Ariel in that case. Every time we go into a store, we see Keyblades, we go, I want more. All right.
I think what you meant by that was, I want more. I want to be where the Keyblades are.
Just as at first I thought, is she gonna say Heartless or Keyblades? Which one? Because they're like, I want to be where the Heartless are. I want to slay them all. Take them down and defeat the darkness inside.
I like it.
Thank you. And here I am trying to flex on what little vocal coaching I have to a professional freaking opera singer. And I don't know if it's working or not, so I'm just going to stop and quit while I'm ahead.
Listen, we fully believe that everybody can and should sing in this house, whether it's professional, whether it's a hobby. If it's something that fills the soul, you should do it. I'm never the kind of person who's going to be like, oh my God, that's awful. Like, no, we don't believe in that here.
Yay. Because Lord knows I've been through enough of that already. So, Alissa, before we dive into the wondrous world that is Kingdom Hearts, I want to know a little bit more about you. Specifically, do you remember exactly when Kingdom Hearts entered your life? And were video games a part of your life then? Or was Kingdom Hearts the catalyst for your journey into video games?
So I do remember. It's very funny. So my mom was very much like, no, video games, evil, bad, like many of our parents were. But she, at least unlike some of my friends' parents, was like, here's the deal. If you earn your own money and buy it with your own money, I can't stop you. And I was like, great. I'm going to become a rich little child and buy all of the video games. So I was very motivated to, pull weeds and sell little trinkets to neighbors and saved up all my money. And I remember I bought a Nintendo Game Boy Advance was my very first handheld. And then a PS2 was my very first console.
Oh, wow.
And I think my gateway into video games was like Neopets. And hear me out. Okay, hear me out.
I'm not. Okay, so I am not laughing at you. I just think that's freaking hilarious. I mean, my gateway into video games was Sonic the Hedgehog because my next door neighbor had a Genesis.
I go to
his house. I fall in love with it. Sonic becomes like my biggest obsession throughout my entire childhood, essentially. But I don't get a real Sega Genesis until 20 plus years after the fact. And even then, it was just a cheap at games knockoff.
Sometimes it do be like that.
Yeah. But I got the real mini now, so we're good.
Heck yeah. But yeah, so this is bizarre. So I had gotten the Game Boy Advance, I think, because my friends had Game Boys, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. I want one of those. And then Neopets did a poll that was like, hey, if we were going to make a console game, what console would y'all want it to be on? And of course, I was like, Game Boy Advance. It has to be Game Boy Advance because that's the only thing I have. And if I can't play this game, I will die because kid logic. And guess what happened? PS2 won. And I was like, shit, I got to get a PS2. So I did. And then I promptly waited like 10 years for that game to come out. Neopets the Darkest Fairy, TBH, kind of still holds up, worth playing. But so now I have a PS2. And I don't know if you recall the time of life where Costco sold video games.
A little bit. I was surprised. Yeah. And then because I would go to Costco when I was a kid, but when we went, of course we just go for food. We just stock up on foods to maybe a few other things. But of course, when we saw the cool stuff, we were like, "Oh!" But we were all like looking at the TVs, and the video games were like hidden away, which I guess was smart on Costco, and parents thanked them for that. So
yeah. Well, I am at Costco, and I see Kingdom Hearts, and I'm like, "What's this?" And I pick it up, and I like look at it. I'm like, Disney and Final sounds weird. I don't know. I guess I'll buy it. So I take it home and I start playing it with another friend, I think. This is like a little hazy. I remember starting it. I think I started it myself and I was a little too young to like really, really get it. And I got stuck at the part in Traverse Town where you just have to like walk through the right passageway and pray that you trigger the cutscene, which like, forget about it. And I could not for the life of me get that cutscene to trigger. So I rage quit. It's like, I'm done. This is stupid. I'm out. And then somehow, I don't totally know how this happened. I ended up like playing it together with another friend, and we got through it, and we got through the whole game. We would like trade controllers and like switch off. And then I vividly remember when Chain of Memories got announced, when there were commercials on TV. What? And that was, I think, really when it sort of like solidified for me that I was like, oh no, I'm into this. Because I'm like, oh, it's on the Game Boy Advance. I already have that. Cool. And I think at that point I might have already had the OG like brick DS. And I remember I would take it to middle school with me, and I was in band, shocker. And I would go into the practice room and be like, I'm going to go practice. And they were like, okay. And instead I'd play Chain of Memories.
Did you ever get caught?
Never.
Oh.
No, I was really good at it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And yeah, so I have very fond memories of the original Chain of Memories. The remaster is a little rage inducing, but I still have those fond memories of the original.
We're going to have a fun conversation because I don't have fond memories of the original. I never even played the Chain of Memories. I almost bought it on the PS2 when I found it at a GameStop one day. I wasn't even looking for it. It was just there. And my brain was like, hold up, what? And then I looked at it and I almost bought it, but then I saw, I was like, oh, it still has the cards. Nah. And I walked away.
I don't blame you. I will say the updated cutscenes and the voice acting is like the best, but the 3D cards, the worst.
I haven't played it yet, but I have words about Chain of Memories. I actually have a lot more harsher words for Recoded. But
oh yeah.
Yeah, but we will get into that. And before we get into that, there is something I really want to stress out. And I talked about it to you before we started, so that obviously I'm not blindsiding you, but
yeah,
to our audience, sorry, we're gonna get a little serious here for a second. At the day of this recording, the Supreme Court of the United States decided, in their infinite wisdom, I say very sarcastically, to overturn Roe versus Wade. This decision leaves millions of women, trans Americans, and non-binary assigned female at birth people at risk in over half of the country. So as a cisgendered white male, I want to say I am pissed off. But since I have Alissa here, who was storming on Twitter yesterday, I want to give the floor to her to essentially say a few words before we dive into the fun stuff. So Alissa, if you have anything to say, go for it.
I am also very pissed off. I wish I had anything more eloquent to say than this is so fucked up. But just, to anyone who is, especially anyone who is in America, please go vote. Please go vote. Please go vote. If I haven't said it enough, please go vote. If you are not registered to vote, go to vote.org. It is very, very easy to get yourself registered to vote, to find out when your state's primaries are, to make sure that you vote in this election in November. It's so important. It is the most actionable thing you can do. But, if you have the funds to donate to places like Planned Parenthood, if you feel safe and have the ability to go out and protest, please do so. Let your voices be heard, because that's how we got here in the first place. The other lunatics, I'm sorry to say, are just being louder. And they're a minority, but they're so loud that it's drowning out the majority. So we have to be louder. That's all we can do. So please do so, because bodily autonomy is a basic human right, not a political issue. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, thank you, because that's been like the hot button issue right now. Like, I was on Twitter yesterday and I was just walking around my job and I was furious. And I'm like, this is messed up. Because, my point of view, what right do I have to tell you what you can do? That's kind of messed up. It's kind of like if you were telling me, it's like, you can't get tattoos. I'm like, well, now I'm going to get tattoos even harder.
Right. The other important point is that abortions are healthcare. Healthcare should be a basic human right. All that banning abortions does is cause more deaths in this country. Banning abortions does not stop abortions. It stops safe abortions. If people need one and want one, they will find a way to get one. We will go back to a horrifying era of people getting back alley abortions and dying. We are going back to an era of people having non-viable pregnancies and not being able to get the care for that and dying. Like, it's unacceptable. It's healthcare is a basic human right. Yeah.
So, and with that, seriously, go vote. Call your Congress. Call your representatives. Yell.
Yes.
Safely protest if you feel safe enough. We just got to be louder than the other guys.
We do. That is it. We need to show up and be loud and not give them a choice. Mm-hmm. Since they think we don't get to have a choice, it's our turn to force them to not have a choice.
Yeah, that's a good point. Anyways, thank you for that.
Of course.
Now, shall we dive into the wondrous world that is Kingdom Hearts?
Yes, always.
So, my God, it is hard to say that. Now, I'm 31 years old. I turned 32 in November, and it still like goes, damn, I've been alive. I've been a part of this franchise since the very beginning, and we're doing 20 years of this series.
Yeah, it blows my mind.
That's nuts. Because there are times I'm like, oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts didn't come out that long ago. Then it was 2002. Yeah, but it wasn't that long ago. It's 2022. That was 20 years ago. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Same. We're very close in age. I just turned 30 back in April, so like basically same.
Yeah. And
I'm like, excuse me, how has this been part of my life for most of my life?
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
That is. It's like when I look at Mario or even Sonic the Hedgehog, because I was alive when Sonic the Hedgehog came out, but I was an infant.
Yeah.
I was a baby when his first game dropped, so I didn't know what was going on until like Sonic 2 or Sonic 3 was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But still, that has been a major part of my life, and to see that I was there from the beginning. Like I distinctly remember seeing the commercials for Kingdom Hearts on TV.
Yeah.
I want to say it was like Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, one of the two.
Yep.
But because when back then I was in 6th grade, of course I'm watching Disney Channel. Of course I'm watching Nickelodeon. What else am I gonna do? And I saw this video game where you are actually fighting the villains, and something in that like just sparked in me Because for a while, I do remember things like, man, I want a game where I actually get to fight the villains. It's like, oh, but you can't. It's like, no, not like jump on their head like a platformer.
No.
I mean, fight them.
Yeah.
I mean, put a sword in my hand, let me charge to Dragon Maleficent Leroy Jenkins style, and let's go.
Yes.
I have been wanting something like that for the longest time, because back then, a lot of the Disney games were, not to say they're bad, I had never played them, they were princess games. They were more easy platformers. They were very small children's games for like, I don't know if Mickey Mouse Playhouse was going on back then, but if it was, cool. If not, whatever. Games of that sort.
Yeah.
Or you have your few outliers, like you have a few kart racers, you have a few other things, but it wasn't like a straight action adventure platformer.
Yeah.
Until I see this dude with big yellow shoes running around with Donald and Goofy, and Ursula is popping up out of the ground, and then you hear Simple and Clean in the background, and my 11-year-old brain was like, what the f is this?
Mm-hmm.
I want this.
Yeah. I feel like it really was one of the first like very accessible action RPGs in our generation. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like that wasn't as big of a thing yet, especially at least for like our age group when Kingdom Hearts came out. It was like, oh, we can actually come in and like get that satisfaction, get that feedback of hitting things with a sword. Like, yes. Like I want that now. Of course I wanted that when I was 10.
Yeah. Like even there are times I was going through Disneyland, it's like I'm going through the rides, I'm looking at this, it's like, yeah, but I want to actually be part of the action. I mean, I know it's Disneyland, you can't get out of the ride, you can't, and of course, when you see the villains and the face characters, obviously you can't go up and whack, because that'll get you kicked out.
Yeah.
Although I do have the story when I was a kid, like really, really small, like first grade. Me, my brother, and one of our best friends, we were celebrating his birthday at Disneyland. We get the swords off of Pirates of the Caribbean, those like little plastic swords.
Uh-huh.
And we were running around yelling that we were the Three Musketeers. We go to where the castle is, and we see Cinderella walk up to the castle, and we charge. Swords drawn. And here's Cinderella, and she sees 3 small children running at her, swords drawn. But once we get up to her, we say, Cinderella, we are the Three Musketeers. We will protect you. About face, swords drawn, like, come at us.
That's so cute.
We were like ready to protect her from any evildoers. And the horror this woman must have felt when she sees 3 young boys with plastic swords chasing after. I don't know what kind of horrors that she's went through as a face character. I'm sure there's stories of horror stories of people who are open face characters at Disneyland. But I'm pretty sure getting beaten up with swords by 3 elementary small children is a new one.
Yeah.
Thankfully, she was really nice, and she was like, "Oh, it's okay, I don't need it." It's like, no, we're like that guy. We say,
thankfully, let's protect.
Yeah, thankfully, our parents were like, "Okay, boys, come on." We're like, "But she's like, she's gonna be okay. Come on."
That's so funny.
Yeah, so and then years later, Kingdom Hearts is like, cool, I can actually do something like that, except be up the bad guy and not the princess.
Exactly. And then you get into Birth by Sleep, and you actually get to protect Cinderella.
Yeah, exactly. We'll talk about that. No, so like you were saying, it was a great gateway into action RPGs.
Oh yeah.
So the PS2 was your first console, and Neopets, I assume, was your very first video game. Was Kingdom Hearts the game you bought after Neopets, or were you playing other stuff up to that?
Well, so like Neopets was just like on, a web browser thing, and the game in question that they were making for the PS2, like that did not come out until like 2010, maybe. It took forever. Yeah. I should fact check that. But yeah, no, I was pissed. I was waiting for that game for so long. It took a long time. But so I think Kingdom Hearts was one of the first games that I played on the PS2. I don't recall if there was stuff before. I'm sure there was like, the Harry Potter games that were out. I probably played those. I remember, the Quidditch game, still kind of lit.
Never played that one, actually. I should look into that.
It's fun. If you can get yourself a nice used copy. Highly recommend.
Nice.
Yeah, I probably there was like Scooby-Doo games. I was like, oh, these are fun. But Kingdom Hearts was definitely my first memory of like a serious like Japanese RPG, like getting into that world. Because I do have pretty distinct memories of playing Final Fantasy X when I was in high school. And like I would come home from school and I would get my like big bag of chips and I would just like eat the entire bag and play Final Fantasy X and be like, okay, well, I finished the bag. Now I have to go do my homework.
Oh man, I was the complete opposite. My parents wouldn't they let me go near my PlayStation until my homework was done. And
See,
I had to prove it was done at first, and then they started believing me.
See, my mom's a university professor, so sometimes I would get home before her and just be like, you can't do anything about it.
It's like you're like you have the volume down, you're just listening to see if the car rolls up, and then once it does, just like hit pause, turn the TV off, change the channel, and rush over.
Thankfully, but my mom was pretty chill, and I was that obnoxious, just like straight A, like school is easy kind of kid. So it was just kind of like, yeah, you'll get it done, whatever. And I'm like, thanks.
Not my parents. They were like, "Is your homework done? Maybe." What do you mean, maybe? Yeah. So I love how a lot of people have the same parallel story with Kingdom Hearts because I was technically playing JRPGs before Kingdom Hearts, but that was Pokemon, and I didn't know anything else besides Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
I've told the story before, but when I was a kid, especially back then when I was really getting into video games, I thought turn-based RPGs were boring. Like if you were to say, hey, I got the new Final Fantasy game, my response as a small, very ignorant child, mind you, was Final Fantasy's bad. It's boring. It's so lame that you don't do anything. You just stand there and just go whoosh. All the while I'm saying this while I'm playing fucking Pokemon, which is doing the exact same goddamn thing.
If anything, Pokemon is worse because it's so easy to be OP. You're just like, die, moving on. Die, moving on.
Especially in the first generation. Now, I literally grew up playing Pokemon. I was there in 98. My parents came home. We had Game Boys at this time. My parents had blue and red. I don't know which parent at school told them about this game. I don't know what possessed them to buy it. They probably heard it was 2-player, but they didn't buy the link cable until a few months later.
Yeah.
And since I was the oldest, I got to pick, and I still have it. I still have my red.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, so Kingdom Hearts was my gateway into JRPGs. It's like true. Okay, maybe that's not the right word to say it, but like that genre of hardcore story-driven JRPGs. Yeah. And even though Kingdom Hearts is a more of an action-based game, that is really where I cut my teeth on JRPGs as a whole. Because I cannot, like you said, you rage quit in the Traverse Town. We rage quit with fucking Cerberus.
Oh my God, forget it. Oh my God, that boss fight was awful.
I hate that boss fight. And also, Sparks, when you're listening, sorry, this is probably going to be an explicit episode. So,
I remember
Kingdom Hearts comes out.
It's we're very passionate. We can't help ourselves. We love it. This is the thing about like level-headed Kingdom Hearts fans. Please don't at me. But like, we love the game, but we also hate the game. And like, you know what I mean? We're like, we acknowledge its flaws. We will get mad at it. But then at the end of the day, we're like, yeah, but we love it. And if you come at us with hate, like, we'll fight you.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
Because you have to admit, there is the breed of person that will like die on the hill that Kingdom Hearts is perfect and nothing is wrong with it. And I'm like, oh no, I will fully acknowledge it's weird. It has flaws, but I love it.
I'll straight up say the very first Kingdom Hearts game is my personal favorite.
Yeah.
I love the first Kingdom Hearts game. I would say it's the reason why it's my favorite is because I played it the absolute most because I was playing that sucker nonstop, just trying to make the wait for Kingdom Hearts 2 much more manageable.
Mm-hmm.
There are times where I was playing my multiple playthroughs of my copy of Kingdom Hearts. I would get to Monstro, I would groan. I would be like, here we go again. I would get to Atlantica. I'm like, okay, it's Atlantica, at least in 1. Let's be real. Atlantica and Kingdom Hearts 1, much better than Atlantica and Kingdom Hearts 2.
But the swimming mechanic is still infuriating.
No, I hate the swim mechanic. I don't like that at all. But at least I could fight Ursula and it's not a rhythm game.
That's fair.
I say as I have an open copy of Melody of Memory because I really want to play that game. I haven't played it yet.
It's fun. I like it.
Yeah. Also, the music is gorgeous. How can you not? And of course, the biggest flaw is the gummy ships.
Oh my God, I hate it so much. Okay, so let me tell you a story. So I have been streaming all of the Kingdom Hearts games this year in honor of the 20th anniversary.
Woo.
And until this year, I had never completed Kingdom Hearts 1 on Proud Mode. And it was the only Kingdom Hearts game that I had never beaten on Proud Mode. And so I said, this time I'm going to do it. Because I always rage quit. I'd get to the first boss and be like, it's not worth it. It's too janky. It's not worth it. Throws control, you know. So I was like, we're going to do it. And we did it. I actually was shocked. It was much easier than I thought it was going to be. So maybe that's just because I'm older and better at video games. But what I did not know until this year was that the gummy ships are a fucking nightmare on Proud Mode. And that is what almost caused me to rage quit this playthrough. I didn't, but like, oh my God, I died more times on the gummy ship than to any boss in that game.
Oh, I hate the gummy ships so much.
I hate them so much.
And I will die on the hill that the story in Kingdom Hearts 1 is much easier to digest. It's essentially a Disney film, if you think about it. Yeah, people complain about the Kingdom Hearts games that, the Disney films don't add to the story. I'm like, okay, they maybe don't add to the overarching plot, but they add little great character beats on how Sora is trying to find Kairi. There's a beautiful scene, and I want to say it's in Kingdom Hearts 1, where Sora's in Halloween Town, and he envisions himself dancing with Kairi in Halloween Town Square. Yeah. And also, sorry, Internet, I am a Sora Kairi stan. Please don't at me. But
I mean, they can just get out of here. Who doesn't stan Sora and Kairi? Bye.
People who stan Sora and Riku, but that's. But once again,
listen, they can be a throuple. It's fine.
Yeah. But oh my gosh, like, just seeing Sora fighting and learning, and also it's really fun to help just like kind of see the film progress in a much condensed version of the Disney film concerning which one you're at.
Oh yeah.
But man, I love this game. I love that game. I love the game, but there are parts that I absolutely despise. Least favorite world in 1, definitely Monstro.
Mm-hmm.
Atlantica, Neverland are tied for second, I would say. Mostly because, I would say Atlantica would be out Neverland because there's not a lot of flying.
Okay, so I have a particular place of rage for Tarzan World.
Ooh.
Because the number of times that I got lost, fell off the vines, got lost again, fell off the vines again, and just got like trapped in a loop. Oh my God.
Yeah, Deep Jungle's a hard one to go through. I forgot where I was because, like you were saying earlier, how you got through your rage quit through Travis Town. Mm-hmm. We eventually got through our rage quit Cerberus in the Coliseum, and we couldn't go to Agrabah because of it. So when we finally beat Cerberus, and then because when we first played the game, it was me and my brother. We couldn't figure out how to get the damn coconuts. We didn't know you had to hit the tree. So we were stuck on Destiny Islands far longer. We had to call one of our friends who almost beat the game and say, how do you get off Destiny Islands? It's like, well, did you get the coconuts? Follow-up question, how do you get the coconuts?
I have to say, that is one of the funniest quirks of the first game, kind of as a whole. They do not tell you what to do. Ever.
I think Kairi does. You have to talk to her. That's the thing.
I don't think she tells you to hit the trees. I think you just have to figure it out.
I want to say maybe she did, but I could be wrong. Or that could be maybe not in the original, but if they might
maybe they added it. Yeah.
In Final Mix.
But even in Final Mix, for like that moment that I got frustrated in Traverse Town, they don't tell you specifically where you're supposed to go to trigger that cutscene. Similar, like Deep Jungle, don't tell you where to go to trigger some cutscenes. Monstro, forget about it. Finding where you're going to trigger those cutscenes, you're just going to run around lost. Like, they don't give you that guidance of actually how to navigate through a lot of the worlds to progress the story. And they get much better at that in the later games.
Well, some would argue they get very linear, and also they have a mini map in the corner, thank God.
Thank God for the map.
Yeah. But I completely understand. And at the same point, that $15 investment I made at Barnes & Noble or at Borders one day to buy the Kingdom Hearts strategy guide was probably the best investment I ever made as a 12-year-old.
Same.
Oh my, yeah, because when we finally were going through the game, we beat Deep Jungle, we beat Wonderland, we got through all the stuff, and we beat Agrabah. We were excited, and then we were in Atlantica, and it was right after we got the Crystal Trident from the sunken ship.
Mm-hmm.
We had no idea where to put it, and we were in Ariel's Grotto before that, so we see the outline.
Didn't process,
but we're small children. When I first played Final Fantasy X, I didn't know what the sphere grid did. I just skipped all that stuff because I wanted to get back to the action. My dumbass, when I was playing Final Fantasy X, which I played because of Kingdom Hearts, by the way.
Yep.
My dumbass thought, hit attack, HP 0, fight over, I win.
Yeah, that's right.
And then, okay, all these other status elements, they're annoying, but HP 0, fight over, I win.
Yep.
I'm an idiot.
To be fair,
all I cared about was like HP up, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Joys of playing an RPG as a small child.
You're just like, I just want to hit things. Let me just hit things.
Yeah, now I'm an adult. I'm like playing Final Fantasy X, and as an adult, I'm like, okay, let's get Tidus my time mage, have him cast haste on everyone, make sure Eunice is healing, Orin's the tank. Great, we got a flyer, bring Waka and Laura Lulu in. Or okay, Kamari Ronzo, I'm like spouting all this jargon.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend's sitting next to me, and she's looking at me going, what the frack are you saying, boy?
You're like, I know how to play Final Fantasy X. Don't at me.
Now she knows how to play Final Fantasy too. She's just like, sometimes she looks up and she's like, hey, maybe cast this on that person. And I'm like, oh, damn, it worked.
Legit.
Yeah. Oh, so I was going somewhere. What were we talking about before we started going on that tangent?
That we hate the gummy ships.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we hate the gummy ship. Gummy ship sucks. Also, getting lost sucks.
Yeah. But we love these games.
Now, that game in particular, I love. Especially when that game introduced me to Cloud, Sephiroth, One Winged Angel. I remember when I was like, the more I played it, when I finally beat the game, and I beat Ansem, I saw the final cutscene, and my brother came in and he was watching me fight through the final boss, and he was like, he was on the edge of his seat. He's like, man, how many bosses do you have to fight? I was like, I have to fight a lot. And then when I finally beat him, it was like, oh my gosh, I actually did it. And then we saw the teaser with Roxas and Riku in the world that never was with the Neo Shadows. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And then it's like, we had to wait 4 years.
Better than 13.
Let's not talk about that, shall we?
Cries in Kingdom Hearts fan.
I know. Cries in Kingdom Hearts. Skipped an entire freaking generation too, of all things.
I know.
Although I'm kind of happy for that because I didn't have a PS3 until I have one now, but that's because that's after the fact.
Same, actually.
Yeah. So we were talking about Chain of Memories.
Yeah.
So you had that on the Game Boy. I have that on the Game Boy as well. I mean, I did not realize that because when I first saw Chain of Memories, I thought it was just maybe a remake or a demake of the first game. Because you see the screenshots in magazines and in some commercials, it's like, oh, that's Agrabah, that's Atlantica, that's Traverse Town. I've been to those places. Is this just like a quick little let's catch up before 2 comes out, or what's going on?
Right.
And then that's the start of the Kingdom Hearts pain train.
That moment when the side games are not side games.
Yeah. I didn't realize this until I actually started playing. I'm like, oh. I think I saw the review on XPlay first when it's like, hey, this game picks up right after Kingdom Hearts 1 ends. And I'm like, oh, I really should get this game.
Mm-hmm.
But man, did that take me a long time to beat because of freaking Riku.
Oh, really? I love Riku's side. It's my favorite part of the game.
You mean
Replica.
The boss fight of Replica Riku.
Yeah.
The second Replica Riku boss fight was one of the worst fights I was playing in that entire game. And it wasn't just the Replica Riku boss fight. Before that, it was trying to let RNGesus bestow his light upon me so I can get this one specific card to open this one specific door so I can open up the rest of the map. And I hated it.
I will admit that was exceedingly frustrating.
I mean, did you have any problems with that as well, or was I just the one unlucky soul who had to go through that?
No, I think that was something that everybody struggled with because there were those couple doors that needed the most specific thing. And it was like, well, anyways, have fun grinding forever because RNGesus is not your friend.
I want to say before that, like my third or fourth playthrough of the original Kingdom Hearts, I did level grind to get the ultimate weapon. I got Donald and Goofy's weapons. I did all that. I beat Sephiroth multiple times, sometimes just for funsies, because, you know, that was the first time I heard One Winged Angel, and that's a freaking bop.
Hell yeah.
And of course, when I meet Ansem, his ass was grass and I was the lawnmower. But for Chain of Memories, it was the most agonizing thing because I'm playing through this game. I'm constantly going through these Heartless rooms, and I'm like, drop this freaking card. Let me continue my game, please. It must be how some people, when they get into Dark Souls for the first time and can't beat the first boss.
Yep. See, I'm like, I remember having somewhat of that frustration when I played it originally. I definitely remember like some of the boss fights are hard. Getting the right cards for the doors, annoying. But I feel like I was just so like, Kingdom Hearts, yes, this fills the void, that I like didn't care because I was like, oh, I get to play it more. It didn't frustrate me. It didn't frustrate me until the remake.
Well, I never played the remake.
I recommend watching the cutscenes.
Actually, I did that. I started watching the cutscenes and then I stopped halfway through. Yeah. And I think the only reason why I was watching the cutscenes, I was in college when I was watching the cutscenes for the first time. And really it's just I want to get to the part where they said Marluxia's name because you're on a Game Boy Advance. The sound chip in the game for the GBA at the time was phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, there were a few games that had a few voice commands here. Like you would turn on Super Mario and you hear, let's go. Yeah. You hear like some really cool Mark. And so, oh yeah, Luigi time, let's go. But hearing, like when you're playing in the game, you hear Sora go doing his grunts from the first one, but there's no dialogue. So I see this name. I'm like, okay, Axel, that's fine. Larxene, I got that one. Lexius is a little hard. Marluxia?
I think
Scythe guy.
I remember the biggest wrong ones for me was we definitely thought it was Marluxia. And Naminé we thought was Namine.
That is amazing. Alissa, you have left me today.
Listen, I was in middle school. I didn't know shit about Japanese yet. I
was in high school too. I didn't know jack shit either. I'm looking at this. I mean, I'm thinking. I think I was like. I mean, when I was a kid, I was reading Harry Potter. I called Hermione Hermione.
Yeah, that tracks.
And then finally in the Goblet of Fire, apparently J.K. put the how to pronounce her name because everyone's pronouncing her freaking name wrong. Because, you know, we're Americans. We don't have, that's not a common name here in America.
No.
But that's a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah, I was very confused.
No, man. Yeah, so what was, Chain of Memories, I would still say it's a good game. It's it's very different, especially with the card aspects. And also, I think, especially when I was younger, even when I was in high school, I was getting older, I was able to play RPGs, I was able to understand the mechanics a little bit better. I still wasn't that big a fan of the card aspect. I think if I were to go back to it today, I could build my deck better. But I think my strategy was have all my really powerful one-time use cards in the front, make a slate out of that, and then just use a combo on the boss, and then just heal, and just play the chipping game. Just dodge, hit, boom.
Basically. Honestly, I'm like, at this point, just look up the cheese decks.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. Just look up the cheese decks.
Yeah, I'm fine with the cheese. I mean, hey, I love cheese. Cheese is amazing.
Same. High quality dairy.
Yes. So how was your reaction when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out?
Oh, I was so excited. It was very stupid. So I had pre-ordered it at, of all places, Toys R Us because, you know, literal child, we know nothing. And see, I don't know that I really knew a lot about GameStop yet at that point. I was like, Toys R Us is the place for everything because I'm apparently was a Toys R Us kid. And I was like, okay, I pre-order this game. I'm so hyped for this game. If I recall correctly, it came out in December of 2005.
Oh, I want to say it came out in March of 06.
It definitely came out in 05.
I think in Japan they came out in 05. We got ours because I remember. I could be wrong because that was for me. That was my freshman year of high school, and I know the day before everyone was freaking out about Kingdom Hearts, and I had it pre-ordered, paid for. I even had the special edition strategy guide ready to go.
Nice.
So I was also in a play, so I had play rehearsal, and I remember the night before the game came out, which was the day I thought the game came out, I didn't have rehearsal. So my thought process was, I get to play the game when I get home. I did all my homework at lunch. I was like ready to go. No homework, no responsibilities. I get in the car. Where is it? It comes out tomorrow. What? No, it comes out today. It's like, Ben, it's midnight. It's going to come out tomorrow. I'm like,
Cries forever. Okay, so we're both right. So it came out in December 2005 in Japan and March 28th, 2006 in America.
Okay.
And I'm like, this tracks also with my memory. So that week, conveniently, was spring break. And I spent that entire week not moving from my television, and I finished the game over spring break. I was like, I am not going back to school without having finished this game.
I remember the day it officially came out because I was so excited. My friends were asking me, he's like, Ben, I thought, doesn't it come out tomorrow? I'm like, no, the receipt says it comes out today. And then, of course, I show up the next day at school. My friends are sitting there going, so how was Kingdom Hearts 2? I'm like, shut up.
Cry.
It's like, shut up, you meanies. But then we started talking because some of the kids in our play were also huge Kingdom Hearts fans. So that's all we were talking about is how we're going to play the game when we got home. And then one of our castmates said that that he got a text from his dad. He picked up the game already, and he's almost about to beat the game before he was able to touch it.
What?
Yeah. What indeed? And Kingdom Hearts 2 is a beefy game.
Yeah.
It's like a 40-some hour game, give or take?
I think, yeah. And I mean, when I replayed it, when I played Final Mix in this round of me doing it this year, even knowing the game and being pretty good at it, it took me like 32 hours, I think.
Yeah.
And nice to, I'm like, I'm not skipping anything. Just, I flew through it.
You know what? He maybe thought he was going to beat the game because he was about to beat the last available world, but then triggered the revisits.
Yeah. Oh, that's possible.
That's probably because I remember when I was first playing the game, I thought right before I got to, when I go back to Radiant Garden or to Hollow Bastion before it's Radiant Garden,
yeah,
and you do that 1,000 Heartless fight.
So fun.
Oh, yeah. And
I thought, part of the game.
I'm sitting there going, okay, this is definitely endgame, right? It's like, hey, we should probably go back to the Land of Dragons for reasons. And then I go through every single world again. And I'm like, yo, this is nice.
Oh.
Because there are some worlds I'm like, hey, where's my Keyblade? I didn't get a Keyblade from this world. And then I just keep playing again. It's like, oh, there it is.
Found it. Yeah.
And then because you got to go through all the organization shenanigans, which BT dubs, Zaldin and Zigbar can suck it.
Oh my God. For real. That Zaldin fight, I remember that being like the bane of my existence the first time I played the game. But I have to say, it's so funny. There are notable fights in Kingdom Hearts 2 specifically that I was like, fuck Zaldin. Honestly, fuck Demix with all the clones.
Him too. Destroy all the water clones within 5 seconds? Are you serious?
So I have memories of like PTSD from these battles. And then this playthrough, all of them, first time, beat them. I was like, nice. What happened? I'm confused. I was legitimately confused because I went into the fight and I was like, all right, chat, this one's going to suck. And we beat it first time. And I'm like, never mind. I'm like, we're on proud mode. I'm under leveled. What is going on?
That is way too funny because I cannot tell you how many times two games in particular come to mind when the first time I played them, I couldn't beat a certain boss, a very easy boss in the beginning of the game, which it should be the easiest boss, but I could not defeat it.
Yeah.
Mega Man Legends 1 and Mega Man Legends 2. Ran both those games from Blockbuster before I owned them outright. Got to a certain part in the game, boss kills me every time, have to take it back to Blockbuster. I'm upset.
Yeah.
I finally buy the games because they were on sale at, of all places, Blockbuster. Go home, play them, get to that boss, and I go, okay, here we go. This is gonna first try, done, no harm, no foul, easiest fight ever. And I'm sitting there going, why? Why? Even recently, earlier this year, I'm playing Final Fantasy 3 on my DS. There was a dragon boss very early in the game that I could not figure out how to get past. It was the bane of my existence. I get to that dragon boss. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Easiest freaking fight in the world.
So wild.
I'm sitting there just staring at this thing going, how the fuck did I mess this up back in the... How? Like, that boss in that game, Alissa, the first time I had it, got me so mad, I sold my copy of Final Fantasy 3. And then years later, when I really get a Final Fantasy 3 urge, I'm like, you know what? I gotta redo this again. I find it, CIB. I even find the strategy guide. My mom was with me. She was kind of to buy me the game itself. I pay for my strategy guide. I get to that part in the game, done. Wipe the floor with it.
That's so wild. Go figure.
Yep, go figure. So now I'm looking forward to finding Demix, Zigbar, and Zaldin in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, don't worry.
I also have PTSD from fighting them. And you were saying, because back when I first played through Kingdom Hearts 2, I did on normal.
Okay.
I back in the day, I did try a proud mode run just to see if I can do it.
Yeah.
I was so happy I beat Zaldin. Zaldin was just making me so mad. But I can't beat Zigbar on
proud. Zigbar's a tough one.
Zigbar, I was using Magnet. I was using Shield. I was trying everything I could to avoid those weapons, but he always wasted me, and it made me so mad that I stopped playing and I didn't get any farther.
Is this the Zigbar fight like in
the world that never was?
Yeah. The one where he's all like teleporting. Well, he's always teleporting and bullshit, but yeah.
I mean, he's teleporting. He's got you in his sights, and you're trying to dodge. He has a bunch of lasers circling around, and they go like you see him. You're like, oh shit! You try to run out of the way, but they still go and they hit you no matter what. Yeah,
I got real good at dodging those. That's the only way you could do that.
I didn't. I haven't figured out the way, but oh well, another time, another day. So
when you come back to it and you beat them first time, I expect a report.
I'll text you. I will DM you. I'll be like, so I got to Zigbar and his ass is grass.
Yeah.
I'll text you. It's like, so I'm about to fight Zigbar in a world that never was. How was it? 5 minutes later. Yeah, he dead.
Yep. I look forward to this. Just like dodge roll, hit, dodge roll.
Spamming that dodge roll. So obviously Sephiroth is in the second game.
Yeah.
Coming back from the first one, there's a much more story in Kingdom Hearts 2 in the base one before Final Mix.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't, when I was replaying Final Mix and just getting ready for Kingdom Hearts 3 on my PS4, I didn't get to Sephiroth. I think I'm in the Land of Dragons. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I last picked up 2. But, oh man. Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2. Hard fight. I would say a lot harder in 2 than he is in 1.
Yeah. I full disclosure, I've never beat Sephiroth in any of the Kingdom Hearts games.
Really?
I'm too lazy. Honestly, I don't think I beat any of the secret bosses in the originals or the Final Mix. I'm just like, so much effort.
You know what? I will concede, because I beat the original. In the original game, I would say I'm like 98% complete.
Yeah.
Like if there were trophies, I probably would have either 100% or 98% completed Kingdom Hearts 1.
Okay.
The base game on the PS2.
Yeah.
On the PS4 with the Final Mix one, I was working to get the ultimate weapon, but I didn't realize that I have to wait for certain Heartless to spawn, and then that's a whole different challenge in of itself. And I hated that.
It's just like a patience game. And I'm like,
And it's like I got the original, getting the ultimate weapon in the original one. I mean, yeah, you have to grind. You have to have lucky up. You have to get certain item drops, which aren't hard, which are kind of difficult, but they're more manageable and they're easier to grind and rack up experience points.
Yeah.
Whereas in Final Mix, it's just like, it's way too difficult. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember if I got Ultimate Weapon in the original Kingdom Hearts. I did get Ultimate Weapon in the original Kingdom Hearts 2. And I did get it in 3 because it's like pretty easy to get in 3.
I never got it in 2. I kept trying as hard as I could, but it's still that last damn Orculum Plus, which is a rare drop from a completely different Heartless that I had no idea how to fight. And I'm like, no, I'm done with this. So I think I just beat Xemnas with the Oblivion. Yeah. I think I had the Oblivion Keyblade equipped when I fought him.
Which, it's just correct because it's the best Keyblade.
It is a pretty badass Keyblade, but I did get the Ultimate Weapon in 3. I was not going to go up against Xehanort without that Ultimate Weapon because I'm like, I'm here to dance, bitch.
Same. And like, dear God, don't even think about doing the DLC without Ultimate Weapon.
Also, quick confession, I haven't played the DLC in 3 yet.
That's okay. I haven't beaten it because so you know about the data battles. Yes.
I know.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I can't beat Luxord because his games are bullshit. I have beat everything else. All the ones that are just like handing your ass to you. No, beat them. Luxord, I've been stuck on it for 3 years. I still haven't done it. Wow.
I just haven't gotten the DLC yet because I'm too cheap.
I mean,
I still think that $25 is too much. I still think 25 is expensive. 15, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
But, or was it 25 or 30 when it first came out?
It was more, I think.
Yeah, it was like,
I think it was 40.
It was 40? Oh, that's even worse.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm one of those awful fans that I'm like, whatever, take my money. I need it. It's Kingdom Hearts.
Part of me did. Part of me really wanted to. But then I saw the price tag. And then I saw the IGN review. And then I thought, no, wait. I'll wait till it goes on sale. It goes on sale, but it's only like $2 off. And I'm like, well, no, not yet.
I keep waiting. Yeah.
Keep waiting. And now we get the announcement for Kingdom Hearts 4. So I'll probably just dive into 3 and just shill the money. Because, I mean, I have a Kingdom Hearts tattoo for crying out loud. I'm going to shill it eventually.
It's true.
Yeah. So going away from the main games for a bit. Let's talk about the side game, or the air quotes.
I was saying, what do you mean? They're all main games.
Nomura, why do you do this to us?
Because he loves us and he wants us to have all of the content.
I'm just thankful that I had most of the systems I needed to play the games. The one that I did not have, and the one that I was most salty about not playing, because at the time, all the Kingdom Hearts fans were saying it was the best one, was Birth by Sleep. I
have definitely bought most of my consoles for a Kingdom Hearts game. I will fully admit that is the history of most of my console owning.
I mean, I bought a Nintendo 3DS so I could finally play Ocarina of Time, so I cannot fault you there. I was this close to not just buying, but rebuying a PlayStation Portable because my original one that my parents got for my brother and I on launch day disappeared.
No.
Well, okay, maybe not. I mean, eventually it did disappear, but it also was being used as my brother as a way to circumvent him getting banned from the computer to go on MySpace. Because it had an internet browser at the time.
Yes, it did.
So he was using that to go online when mom and dad said, you can't be on the computer because you didn't get good grades. And he was like, okay, kept the PSP tucked under his pillow.
Yep.
And also, we just didn't really know about the good games for the PSP. I think the only game I bought for the PSP because I want to play it was Mega Man Maverick Hunter X. And then when Birth by Sleep came out, it was past the point of no return. It was gone.
Yeah. I have to say, I think the PSP was so ahead of its time and the PS Vita was so ahead of its time. I will forever be disappointed that flopped because it just like... It was so good. It had so much potential to be so good. And it just, sorry, Sony, you kind of fucked that one up.
Speaking of Vita and of my brother, when I last visited him at his home in Florida last year, he asked me if I wanted some PlayStation stuff. I'm like, well, what do you mean? What do you got? He's like, well, I got a PlayStation. You know that mini PlayStation that came out a few years ago? Yeah. You want it? I'm not going to say no to a free PlayStation. And then he's like, oh, yeah, have you heard this thing called the Vita? I'm like, yeah? You want it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, I do. And then, of course, I have it way too late, and all the games for the Vita are stupid expensive. So it's like, great, missed out on that. I mean, I still have it. It's here, and I gotta talk to my brother about it because last time he talked to me about it, said maybe I could just like hold on to it and play because he wasn't playing it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to take it to someone and mod it and then give it back to him, and the files are all corrupted. So
right. Oh yeah, we modded the living heck out of our PSPs back in the day. Like we had a guy who rode the bus. This is in high school, so it's like we had the guy, and we would get all of us. We were like, give him our PSPs. He'd mod them, bring them back to us. It was like it's our version of drugs, I guess. We're like, hey, you want a modded PSP?
It was like he looks over, is like, for $20, I can put almost every single PlayStation 1 game on that PS Vita or on that PSP for you. And you're like, how? It's like, don't ask questions. Just give me the system and just give me the dough of the system, and it's all yours.
Basically.
Talk about the sketchiest deal of all sketchy deals.
Yeah, but like I can play every PSP game.
Yeah, you can.
Every single one.
And that's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Or that's a good thing to have, I should say. I don't know why I said good thing to do. I don't know. I'm still I had to wake up really early this morning. I work nights, so there are times my brain's a little wall.
Oh, I fully understand because same.
Mm-hmm. So when I say, to preface things, when I say side games, obviously in Kingdom Hearts, every game means something because, Nomura is like, let's do it this way. And all of us go, why?
Why?
When I say main games, I mean the numbered titles. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Future 4.
Yeah.
Side games is everything else, but of course, everything's connected. Reconnect Kingdom Hearts.
Hey! Yeah. Your hearts have been connected.
Mm-hmm. So, in your experience, what is your favorite side game and your least favorite side game?
So it is a tie. I can't choose between Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance. I love them both very dearly. And those are also my 2 favorite Kingdom Hearts games, period.
Ooh.
I'm like, nope, sorry. They beat out all the, I love them so much. They both hold up for me. I also have very fond memories. Specifically, I have very fond memories connected to playing Birth by Sleep for the first time. But I'm just like, I love them. I love them both so much. I love them for different reasons. Dream Drop Distance has my favorite Kingdom Hearts world, period, ever, which is Symphony of Sorcery, because classical music nerd.
Fantasia is an amazing film.
But when I tell you, my little classical music nerd brain screamed when I got to play a rhythm game to Beethoven 6. Like, what? I was like, I need more of this. This is the best thing that's ever happened. Yeah, it's great. I like it a lot.
Actually, one of the things I love about that world, going on a side tangent for Symphony of Sorcery, is the entire world. You get other sound effects, of course, like hitting and I guess
all the instruments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no dialogue at all.
Mm-mm.
Like before you go into the music, there's no there's dialogue. You're talking to Mickey. He's asleep doing na. He's doing his thing. Second, you go into the music, it's all instrumental. It is all music. You hear no dialogue. You hear no grunts. You hear no nothing.
Yeah, I love it so much.
It is definitely, I don't want to say jarring, but it was definitely one of those things where I was playing the game. It's like, wow, they went hard for Symphony of Sorcery to make sure it's about the music. And I really I'm not a classical music nerd, but I really appreciate that.
I love it. It makes me so happy. And it just makes me so sad that I doubt that it'll ever make a return.
Yeah, they don't really like to bring back a lot of the old stuff, do they?
Especially, we rarely have had returns of worlds from the side games, which is heartbreaking.
I mean, it's weird because also some of the side games, like let's put 358 over 2.
Yeah.
I know. Title is like, but 358 over 2, all the worlds are based off of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go to any new worlds, which is why for me, when Dream Drop Distance came out, I was heavily wanting to go to that one because the only, once again, air quotes, returning world was World That Never Was, and that's the final one. Right. I can forgive that, but everything up to that point was brand new. Although I'll give a little bit of a side eye to Prankster's Paradise for Riku's side because you're a monstro and I got PTSD from that shit.
Same. Actually, that was something that I noticed on my replay because I'm doing that right now. I was like, I thought there was more in Prankster's Paradise, like in the theme park. I thought there was more, and there's so much less than I remember. And I feel like that's a huge missed opportunity because there's so much fun they could have had with that world. And they were like, nah, we'll just put you back in Monstro. I'm like, oh, come on. This is like, there's so much cool stuff you could have done here.
Yeah. I mean, I understand, especially with those systems that were on the games that were on handhelds. Yeah. They weren't powerful enough. Like the joke is, especially for Birth by Sleep, when you save Cinderella, you hear that one guy go, "Oh, the guests were just starting to enjoy themselves." It's like, there's no one here, dude. It's just us. It's just us, Lady Tremaine, and the sisters. No, it's an empty ass ballroom, my guy.
Yep. They're all imaginary guests.
Oh, I'll never forget when there's a YouTuber I watch, Super Butter Buns. She does. Do you know who she is? Oh, she has a lot of great videos on Kingdom Hearts. You'll love it. They're freaking hilarious. And when she saw NPCs in Kingdom Hearts 3, she's like, "We have NPCs! They're finally here!"
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so true though.
Yeah, because even Kingdom Hearts 2, it's like there's a few, but there's not a lot.
Barely.
Then you look at Kingdom Hearts 3, it's like, oh, this is a literal living in town. Nice. I can appreciate this now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We just weren't strong enough to support that in the past games. So your favorites are Dream Drop Distance, also mine, and Birth by Sleep.
Yeah.
Which is the outlier?
Coded.
Yes!
Nobody likes Coded. Nobody likes. Listen, I'm dead ass. I'm putting a call out to anyone listening to this. If any of you genuinely like Coded, like, at me, because I want to know if you exist.
Also, please be respectful because we're not mad that you like Coded. We just don't like our games. These are not our favorites personally.
I'm like, I say this as I'm like, I want to hear from someone who likes it. Like, why? No. Because I think the story is important, unfortunately. Like, we watch the cutscenes, but like, God, playing that game was not fun.
No, I hate Coded. I mean, I bought it because it was a Kingdom Hearts game. I knew it was a mobile game because when they announced 358 and Birth by Sleep, they were like, "Hey, these games are coming to consoles in North America." Coded is up in the air because that's a mobile only Japan only game. Yeah. So of course I'm sitting here going, "Well, nuts."
Yeah, same. Yeah, I remember being frustrated that wasn't coming.
Yeah, I have a DS at the time. 358 Days Over 2 comes out. I get it. I'm like, yay. Birth by Sleep is on a PSP. I'm nuts. Peyton, where's the PSP? I don't know. Shit.
Yeah.
So I didn't even hear Coded came out or Recoded came out on the DS until I was at a GameStop and I saw it and I had exactly enough money to buy it.
Yes.
It was the biggest impulse buy I could. And when I was playing it, I was like, Data Sora? What is this? And everything else that was going on. I don't know why, but I was so sick and tired of seeing Riku in an organization coat. I'm like, just get him out. We know what he looks like when he's not Ansem anymore. For the love of God, put him in his costume. Do you know how happy I was to not only play as Riku in Dream Drop Distance, but the fact that he looks like fucking Riku and not some organization wannabe?
Yeah. Oh, that's partly why that game is my favorite too, because like I'm a Riku stan. Like,
oh my God, I was so sick and tired of all this stuff with. I mean, in 358 over 2 days, that I will give a pass to because this is when Riku was learning to control his darkness, and then he was being like trying to be sneaky with organization 13, and then finally it's like we get Birth by Sleep. There's more organization bull crap, and we just keep seeing Riku in the coat, and I'm like, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah, we're like, hello, can you please?
Yeah, not only just with Riku, but the game itself. It's like normally I would be like, hey, different game styles. That this is actually kind of cool. But the more I play it, the more I'm like, can we just pick one and stick with it, please?
It does get very repetitive
It
and
does.
coded.
It
Yeah.
does. I don't think you know what? I actually, no, I can say this. I never beat Coded. I want to say I got to the fight with Roxas. I couldn't beat him.
Mm.
And I'm like, no, I'm just going to look this up. I don't want to play this game anymore. And I looked up the secret ending, which is Zayn, or not Xehanort. Fuck, what was it? Yensid. Yensid telling we need him to do the Mark of Mastery. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yep.
We're still waiting for 3.
Yep. No, Dream Drop. You get Dream Drop now.
Yeah, I will say I was very salty when it said Kingdom Hearts 3D, and I was mad.
They trolled hard on that one.
They did. I mean, and then it became my favorite side game because I love playing that game on the 3DS. Yeah. It was my only gripe with Dream Drop is you have to beat the game before you can get the ultimate weapons, and you have to beat the game to unlock the boss fight with Julius, who is stupid hard, but really fun to beat once you do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I did all the freaking data battles. I did it. I was constantly cycling through to get that portal to pop up. I was playing. I think that's the one Kingdom Hearts game I truly 100%ed.
Nice. Yeah, we'll see how like OCD I get with it on this replay on the PS4. Like I'll finish the game and be like, I'm done streaming it, but I might go back and be like, but I need all of the spirits and I need all of the things.
Actually, no, I didn't 100%. I didn't get all the spirits.
Damn. Gotta get all the spirits. You gotta catch them all.
I mean, I had a really good team of spirits though, and actually, it was really fun naming them too.
Oh my god, we're having so much fun naming them. Yeah.
Oh man, what's your? If you can remember, what were some of your favorite spirits, and do you remember their names for them?
So I don't remember my old ones, but like I said, we're playing Dream Drop literally right now, and chat gets to name the spirits. So some of my current favorite ones, specifically because of their names, are the Prickle Mane, the little like purple spiky dude. His name is Ice Cream Joe. We would die for Ice Cream Joe. Ice Cream Joe is our actual human son, and we would die for him.
Oh,
that one's a good one. The snail's name is Gary because duh, and also we would die for Gary. Yep.
My brother named his cat Gary, and I was like, "You named him after SpongeBob." He's like, "Yes, we named him after SpongeBob."
We did have 2 spirits that were I can't remember which they were. I think one was one of the fish ones, and one was one of the like reindeer ones, and we named them Things and Stuff because things and stuff.
Yeah, makes sense.
So yeah, we had them out for a while. Now I have my current main team is the T-Rex and the Tweeby themed elephant. And one of them is named after one of my friends. So I think we named him Phantom Rex. And the Tweeby one is named Rindo because duh. I'm like, yo, we're also big World Ends With You fan. So I love those games. That's part of why I love Dream Drop too. I was like, Tweeby is in this game.
Yeah, because Traverse Town World Ends With You. Never played World Ends With You, but I've heard great things about it.
Highly recommend. It's really wonderful game. And there's a re-release on the Switch of the original game, which I've heard is okay if you play it in handheld mode. Apparently it's like unplayable if you don't have the touchscreen, which tracks.
Really?
Yeah, no, that tracks because it's a DS game, and the touch screen stuff is really important to the game mechanics.
Okay.
But if you don't want to play it, the anime is pretty good, and then the new game is fabulous.
Yeah, my roommate's playing the new one.
Yeah,
and I've heard great things about the new one. I was excited for the remake because I don't know how expensive it is to find the DS copy out in the world right now. I can only imagine it's a little up there in price, maybe. So
I don't know. I have an original copy and I'm hoarding it forever.
Good. Don't let that go. You kidding me?
Yeah. I'm like, now I want to know. Now I want to know how expensive a real one is.
Oh man. Yeah, so World Ends With, because that was one of the times where I'm playing Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, who the heck are these characters? I have no idea who these people are.
So on Amazon you could buy an original copy for $120.
That makes sense. A lot of DS games are getting up, especially RPGs. They're getting up there in price, and it's ridiculous.
Okay, but that's like kind of BS because like there is a copy for sale on eBay for like $30. So
Well, you gotta make sure it's a real one too. They could be repros.
That's true. Anyways, now that I've gone on that tangent.
Well, welcome to Baseball Arcade Pause, Alyssa. Tangents and rants aren't just welcome, or they're encouraged.
They're mandatory.
Pretty much. But yes, Recode. My God, going back to Recoded, because that was the game when I was playing Kingdom Hearts. Definitely kind of felt a bit like a chore. But this is going to sound a little controversial, and I'm sorry, but I am not the biggest fan of Birth by Sleep.
Really?
I don't know why. I don't know. It's just because I was impatient. I wasn't in the mood for grinding. But my God, there was a part of me when I was playing Birth by Sleep when I finished. It felt like a chore for me to get through it. And that was, of all the Kingdom Hearts games, that was the one I was most ready. It was overhyped for me.
Yeah,
I would say. Everyone was telling me how amazing Birth by Sleep was. It was like, this is the best Kingdom Hearts game outside of 2. This is the best game that we're leading up. Nothing can beat Birth by Sleep. Oh, but it's like, hey, what about Dream Drop Distance? Oh, that's okay, but it's nowhere near as good as Birth by Sleep. And then I finally play it. And to be honest, I was getting sick of it by halfway through Ventus's story. Because I'm stuttering here. Sorry. I want to say it was probably just a constant repetition through the worlds, the constant story beats, and just through osmosis, I know what's going to happen. But when I got to, I think I just beat Aqua's main story. And I was also in a boss fight with Terranort in Radiant Garden. Got my butt handed to me a few times, and I just gave up. I'm like, no, I'll just watch the cutscenes online.
That's fair. You're definitely not the only person I've heard who is not a fan of Birth by Sleep. I know a lot of people say they don't like it because it's the first game that introduces the command deck. And I'm like, oh, I really like that mechanic, but I get why people don't.
I think the command deck is amazing for the handheld games.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was replaying Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, now it's HD on 2.8 Final Mix or Final Prologue, I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it just wasn't really grabbing me like the first time I was playing it. I think I got to the final boss with Riku, but then I just stopped playing it.
Interesting.
Because I'm like, I know how this game ends. This is the most recent one I played. I'm going to go play Birth by Sleep 0.2 Fragmentary Passage.
Yeah.
That title.
It's so long.
I cannot believe when I first saw the cover. I'm like, okay, so we got HD Dream Drop Distance. That's an amazing game. It's one of my favorite. It's my favorite of the side games.
Yeah.
Birth 0.2 Birth by Sleep, a Fragmentary Passage. Who names this shit?
I love it. It's like we're gonna hit every decimal point, like guaranteed. Like I'm amazed there hasn't been like a 2.3 yet.
If I could, I would stand outside of the Square Enix Tokyo offices and just be like, Nomura, put numbers in the main games. Stop with the side shit.
Yeah. Like
Birth by Sleep. Okay. That's a cool little title.
Yeah.
Don't know what it means exactly, but still.
They say it in the game, though. They say Birth by Sleep in the game.
They do say it in the game, but I still don't 100% understand it. Yeah. And I consider myself a pretty good Kingdom Hearts scholar.
Yeah.
And then you get, of course, 358 over 2 days, which still I don't know what the fuck that means.
Oh, that one I can tell you. It's because there's literally 358 days in that time frame, and the over 2 is Roxas / Shion because they're the same person. I'm pretty sure that's the reasoning behind that one.
That actually makes. I got the 358 part.
Yeah, the over 2 because
it's over 2 part. That I'm just call it 358 days.
Yeah,
that's how long Roxas was in the organization until he gets into the digitized Twilight Town.
Yeah,
so that's fine.
Yeah, nobody gotta talk about Shion. Okay, but also like the final boss in that game is really fucking cool.
The final boss was heartbreaking.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I get why the internet really stands Roxas and Axel being together. I kind of see it. But at the same time, Roxas, Shion, and Axel, all three of them, I'm like, I can also see it. But my lord, when she takes her hood off and you see Sora's face and she gets into that nobody Sora armor, I'm like, can I not?
Yeah.
I don't want to fight you.
It hurts.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I have a bit of a bone to pick with because I rewatched the cutscenes on 1.5.
Oh yeah.
And I was really hoping they would animate the fight, or at least a fight scene.
I know. I wish
they didn't.
They did. I really wish they did.
I mean, I'm glad I don't technically have to play Recoded anymore. Just watch the cutscenes.
Same.
Because I will say, as much as I don't like playing Recoded, I do like seeing what Mickey Mouse is up to.
Same. Yeah, I agree.
Like, one of my favorite things in Kingdom Hearts 2 was going into Disney Castle.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to Disney Castle so bad in Kingdom Hearts 1. And when I finally was able to do it, and not only that, but also I got to fight with Minnie.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, man, my Disney nerd heart.
I have to say, I think one of my favorite parts of the Kingdom Hearts series is Riku and Mickey's relationship.
Yeah, that's actually
it's so wholesome and so cute. And I'm like, they have the best character development as far as relationships goes, period. Like, it's so good.
I'm sorry, I'm plugging in my laptop here real quick.
Oh,
but yeah, Riku and King Mickey. I mean, do you want to? I just learned this recently, and I think it's actually really funny. But in Kingdom Hearts 1, you don't see Mickey until the end of the game.
Yes.
Apparently, that was Disney.
Yep.
Disney said that we can't. If this game flops, we can't taint our mascot.
Mm-hmm.
So they only put him in a cameo. Of course, the game sells like hotcakes. Everyone wants it. And Kingdom Hearts 2 comes by. He's in the first. He's in the first 3.5 hours. Because let's be real, that's a long ass tutorial. I love you, Kingdom Hearts 2, but that tutorial is super long.
It's long. Yeah, it's long.
It's a stupid long tutorial. Isn't that right, Suki? My cat's right here. I don't know if you heard her meow a few seconds ago.
Hi, friend.
Suki, you want to say hi to Alyssa?
I love cats. We have 3, but they're not allowed in here because it's danger zone.
Yeah, understandable. Sometimes Suki is just like, I'm just here, and now she walked away. Long ass tutorial, but when Mickey shows up, takes the Keyblade and whips those nobodies, it's like, Master Yoda, you survived.
So good.
There was a joke going around saying it's like Mickey. This is Mickey Mouse, not Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
But also being able to play as him when you got KO'd. I used that a lot in Proud Mode.
Oh, me too. It's so good. Yeah, no, I remember they were like, okay, we only get one cameo of Mickey. It's got to be epic. And I mean, it was pretty epic.
Although the whole losing his shirt to save continent.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
So I just figured that when Mickey showed up in Kingdom Hearts 1, I didn't care.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, you look at Donald and Goofy, they're wearing fantasy uniforms. They're not wearing their classic ones until the final cutscene where they see Pluto, and then they run off to the sunset or into the fields, right?
Yeah.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was gonna be fine with just seeing Mickey because he's obviously in his traditional Mickey Mouse costume.
Right.
Air quotes there.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say anything. It's like he's darkened anyway. You only see his silhouette and you see, come on, Sora, let's close this door for good. That's all you do. That's all it is. That's it. When he loses his shirt, I was like, you don't have to do this, Nomura. You don't have to do this.
Nomura said, we had to do it to him, and he did it to him.
That almost broke me. I mean, 0. Okay, so I will say this, 0.2.
Yeah.
I love that.
Me too.
It was an absolute stunt. I mean, it is a glorified tech demo. I'll admit that, but it is a stunning tech demo. And also, as much as I might not be a big fan of Birth by Sleep, it gave me a look into what Aqua was going through. Because my lord, did that pull at my heartstrings when she was seeing the ghosts of Ventus and Terra.
Aqua literally carries the weight of the entire world in this series. Like that poor woman.
I mean, she's a master. She has to do all this other stuff. And then it's like, hey, her best friend / maybe love interest turns to darkness. And he's all super sad, or not super sad. He's super jelly. And then she's the adoptive mother of Ventus, and she has to go mother him all the freaking time. It's like, my God, let this woman get a break.
No breaks for Aqua.
No breaks for Aqua. Then she's stuck in the realm of darkness, and then she gets Norded, air quotes.
Yeah.
And I call bullshit, but I really want Mickey's new Keyblade because I really like that design, especially with the stars, because it looks like a Sorcerer's Apprentice hat, and that's my favorite. Cool. That's my favorite version of Mickey Mouse, just TBH, or to be honest.
Same. I don't know if you can see him right there.
Oh, is that the pop vinyl? From Fantasia?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get the pop vinyl, but I do have this beauty right here.
I love it.
You want to know the best part?
Are there like...
All right, I'm gonna stop that because I don't want Disney to copyright my ass.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Suki. No DMCA strikes, please.
Yeah, no DMCA. Come on, Suki, come here. Why don't you meet a friend? Here she is.
Hi, baby.
Here she is.
She's so beautiful.
I have my comic books right here, and she was walking on my comic books. I didn't want her to walk on them. Yeah, but Fragmentary Passage was a really good tech demo, but you don't have to take away Mickey. It is dumb. There are story bits in this game that are dumb, and I will say that the Kingdom Hearts story is somewhat complicated, but it's only complicated because there's just so much to remember.
Yeah. I always say when people like whine about it being complicated, I'm like, yeah, it's complicated, but like, so are so many other series. And they're like, well, you have to play all these games. I'm like, okay, how about the MCU?
That's a good point.
Like, y'all don't complain about the MCU. Why do you complain about Kingdom Hearts? Like, it's kind of equatable because there's so many things where it's like you need, or it's beneficial to have all of these pieces of this like big complicated story. And like, yeah, okay, Kingdom Hearts gets a little convoluted, but like if you've played all the games, you're gonna get most of it. There's gonna be a couple things that you're like, wait, what? But it's all there. It's not like you have to go like research things outside of just actually playing the games unless you're a crazy fan and you want to.
I mean, if you just watch the cutscenes, they will tell you everything you need to know. I mean, I will argue that it's more fun playing the actual game.
Yeah.
But if you do go to YouTube and watch all the cutscenes of all the games, you're going to know what's happening. When I was playing Kingdom Hearts 3 for the first time, I was like trying to remember. I mean, there were times I was like, wait, oh yeah, now I remember. Okay. Yeah. Because it has been a while.
Yeah.
But I will say that there are times where Kingdom Hearts gets a little bit too ambitious.
Yeah.
Like you do have people who's like, oh wait, so Naminé is Kairi's nobody, but Kairi doesn't really have a nobody because her heart went inside Sora, and you know, there's a whole bunch of other stuff. But then there's like moments that are actually really, I feel, are really sweet and powerful. I.e., when Kairi, in the very beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1, when the island is getting destroyed, Kairi turns over and the darkness almost has her, and she disappears into Sora, and that's the moment her heart goes inside Sora's.
Yeah.
I think that's a really sweet moment because Riku at that point was already taken by the darkness.
Yeah.
He turned to the dark side of the Force.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Riku's like all for is like, yeah, let's do this. Let's go. We're finally here. And Sora's like, no, dude, we got to get our girl. What's going on here?
Yeah. Like, hello? Ha, ha. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will say that they're when Sora sacrifices himself and Kairi brings him back, it's like power of love, man. It's Disney. At that point, when she turns him back from a Heartless back into a person, that's just Disney magic.
Literally. And it's so effective.
We're playing a video game where Beast is down in the basement roaming the halls. You have 6 of the most famous Disney princesses along the walls. There's Disney magic in this shit.
Yeah.
Just roll with it.
Yeah.
So I would definitely, I mean, I wouldn't say there are parts of the story that are kind of like, huh? Because there are times where I'm, especially Xehanort, like, why Xehanort wants to do it? I'm kind of, huh?
Yeah, I mean, his reasoning is still like, fam, what? What?
It's like, but why do you want Kingdom Hearts? Like when in the first game, when it says Kingdom Heart, like when Maleficent is feeding Riku, like Kingdom Hearts is the heart of all worlds, untold wisdom. You can find all unlimited power there.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
And then it's like, oh, but Kingdom Hearts is also a giant moon in the sky. It's like, but what is it?
Yeah.
Is it an actual place? Is it an actual kingdom?
No.
What is Kingdom Hearts exactly?
It's a moon full of hearts, I guess.
It's the heart of all worlds, but how does that filter into what this guy? I don't freaking know.
Listen, they named it a thing, and then they had to make up the thing.
Yeah. It's no secret that Nomura has been writing the story as the games have been coming out. It's no secret.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, when we had Ansem in the first game, I thought that he was a badass villain. Like when he finally reveals himself and the sweet dulcet tones of Billy Zane, I'm still salty that he's not in the other games.
I know, I agree.
I mean, the guy they got is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie, but every time I first play that game and when he first talks to Sora, I'm like, oh, that's so good.
Yeah. That is something that's really funny about the entire Kingdom Hearts series is they have this spectacular cast of voice actors. And then there's the couple of characters that it's like, what is coming out of your mouth?
Mm-hmm.
like poor Aerith in a couple of the games. Mm-hmm. But like they get incredible casts. Like you can't deny. Like it's so good.
I still find it funny that Mandy Moore voiced Aerith in the first game, and then she comes back for the third one to voice. Or did she come back to voice Rapunzel in Kingdom Hearts 3?
I don't recall.
I know Zachary Levi came back to voice Flynn.
Yeah, I think so. I think that they're primarily the original casts, maybe except Frozen.
No, Kristen Bell and Idina Menzel voiced them.
Did they? Okay, yeah. Then yeah.
I think Mandy Moore didn't come back. I could be wrong, but I do remember not seeing her name in the credits. But I did see, because now that I'm older and I know who these voice actors are, and I know who voiced certain Disney characters, like seeing Jodie Benson voice Ariel. Did Jodie Benson voice Ariel, or is that Belle? Am I mixing and matching?
Ariel is Sierra Burgess.
Okay, so yeah, Jodie Benson was Belle's voice.
Yeah.
Like seeing Jodie Benson and hearing her voice in Kingdom Hearts 2 makes me happy. Because it's like, that's the same voice from the Disney film that I grew up loving as a child.
Yeah.
So, I was going somewhere with this. Shoot. That's what happens a lot. That's what happens a lot in the show. You just start going and then you go, what was I talking about?
No, it is. It's so exciting to hear the original voices come back and do things. But I mean, just the cast that they get for the original characters, it's just, they knock it out of the park.
No, the biggest props to Haley Joel Osment.
Oh my God, he's incredible.
For still voicing Sora. And I can only assume he's going to voice Sora in 4.
Well, and can we talk about, though, Vanitas?
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God, that was great.
This man is talented. Like, to flip between such different sides of the same character, it's incredible. He's incredible.
Oh man, when Vanitas finally reveals himself to Sora in Kingdom Hearts 3, and he's like, why wouldn't I be? It was like, damn, he is giving his all in this. This is so good.
Yeah.
That was also a really fun fight. I will not lie. The Vanitas fight, and when you go to Castle Oblivion to wake up Ventus,
yes.
That was like, that pulled at my heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah. It definitely takes a minute to get to like the really good part of Kingdom Hearts 3, but like when they finally just like kind of start chucking the fan service at you, I'm like, I'm here for it.
Yeah. So, all right, let's talk about Kingdom Hearts 3 now, shall we?
Yes.
So obviously 13 plus years, we waited a very long time for it. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many times I was like saying finally and saying Kingdom Hearts 3 when I was playing the game. It annoyed my girlfriend so she was like, shut up, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely, obviously, like pre-ordered at GameStop, went to get it the second I was able to have it in my hands. Definitely was like weeping in my car holding this like limited edition Kingdom Hearts 3.
I had to work when the game dropped, so I had her pick it up for me.
Okay.
Not the first time, because like when Smash Bros came out a few years prior, I had to go to work. Then the game was pre-ordered, paid for, no problem.
Yeah.
But I called up the store and said, hey, if I give my girlfriend my receipt, Can she pick up my copy because I'm going to be at work when you drop the game at 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, that's fine. She does the same thing for Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
I get home, I take my I load it in, I take my shower, I come back, and it was a Monday, so it was super tired. But I was like, no, I was up till the sun came up playing Kingdom Hearts 3 because I will be damned if I wasn't going to get past the part where it says Kingdom Hearts 2.9. God damn it, Nomura!
That made me so mad. I was like, are you kidding? Fam, come on.
When you leave Yen Sid's tower and you go to the Coliseum and it pops up and it says Kingdom Hearts 2.9, I'm sitting there going, fuck you!
You know, at that point, Nomura was trolling so hard and he knew exactly what he was doing.
Of course he did.
Oh,
I mean, not to say that whole tutorial area was a really fun tutorial.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
really
once
good.
again, it was a longer one, kind of a la Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was much more coherent and it was much more action-packed. It's like, okay, this makes sense of how the series of events that lead up to the fight up in the Mount Olympus.
Yeah.
Like you show up, you see Hades, you're trying to do your thing, you're getting used to the terrain, which it looks absolutely stunning. Hades does his thing and it's like, oh, we're in the end of the movie. We're actually here now. Okay.
Which I have to say, it is really fun having Olympus be and the Coliseum be part of basically all of the games and actually kind of getting to have that grow with the series. That was really fun.
Yeah, I would. The first time I got to the Coliseum, I enjoy it, but Olympus Coliseum in Kingdom Hearts 2 or the Underworld, as I was, it's probably, is it called the Underworld or is it still called Olympus Coliseum?
I think it's called the Underworld. I don't know. I can't remember.
Neither can I. But for the sake of argument, let's just call it the Underworld.
Yeah.
Those I haven't really dove into the Underworld Cups, but I was super happy they came back.
Yeah, me too.
And also that Sephiroth was a much more story-interested character and a story side fight that wasn't just he's there.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? Yeah.
Now there's a story reason to fight him, and also the final fight between him, Cloud, and UC Tifa in the background. It's like, although I would have liked to see more Tifa, though, just to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. Well, who doesn't want to see more Tifa?
I was on a very big Final Fantasy VII kick when 2 came out, so I was like, this was also the same time Advent Children came out. I got a DVD. I was playing through Final Fantasy VII on my PS1. I was headfirst into Final Fantasy VII, and then we see Tifa. I'm like, yeah, Tifa's there. And then it's like, bring her back.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's definitely, I think, it's a long tutorial, but it feels more gratifying than some of the other tutorials for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Also, okay, so I also got it at, like 9 p.m. when it dropped and then just like held it in my car and like cried. And then I'm like, am I gonna go to work tomorrow? What if I just didn't? And there was definitely, so I beat it within the first week of having it. And I was exceedingly sleep deprived. And I went to work sometimes. And sometimes I was like, if I don't show up, no one will know. Yeah, I didn't sleep a whole lot the week Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. I was just like, I don't care. I need to play this game. And it has its quirks. It has its things that, we're all a little annoyed about. But like, so help me God, I was literally just sobbing for a week straight. I'm like, I've waited 13 years for this game. Like, fuck you guys. Leave me alone. I just want to play this game and cry. Okay, thanks.
I was also very sleep deprived that week Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. I didn't miss work, unfortunately, although there were many times I'm just like, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
But my work is lame. If you recruit a certain amount of calls, then they're going to bring the hammer down on you. But it was one of those things where every time I came home from work, I would shower at Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
When I had a weekend free, like the first weekend I had free, I made damn sure I wasn't going to do anything else that weekend. Maybe the podcast, but the days leading up to it, I'm in my room on my beanbag chair playing Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
And when she would come home and say, "Did you do chores? No. Did you do anything productive? No. Did you play Kingdom Hearts all day?
Yeah.
Don't judge me."
Like, you don't understand. We've been waiting 13 years.
13 years. And I will say, I mean, the gameplay I absolutely love. There's some story bits I'm not the biggest fan of. I mean, spoiler alert for Kingdom Hearts 3 for a game that's been out for a few years, but when Kairi dies, I was pissed.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh hell no. We're throwing down. But then of course, like when they all die the first time, it's like, what?
Okay, have you read The Sleeping Worlds theory?
No, I have not.
Okay, so for anyone who's a Kingdom Hearts fan who is like diehard and cool with theories, I'll have to send this to you. There is this like really, really, really long, in-depth Google Doc that is called, it's either the Sleeping Worlds theory or the Sleeping Realms theory. And it's this whole theory that in that moment, that first time when everyone dies, that they all like go into a sleeping realm, and it's like all because we know this exists from Dream Drop, that like it's all not real. And it's this absurd, like in-depth. I mean, I cannot tell you how in-depth this document is mind-blowing. And it's so good that you can like almost not believe it. It's kind of like, this makes too much sense. Like, I'll have to send it to you because if you've got the time, it's very much worth a read. It's a really fun thing to dig into as a Kingdom Hearts fan.
Yeah, I haven't heard the theory, but that kind of, I mean, this once again, at this point in time with all the crazy shit that Kingdom Hearts has gone through, I would not put it past them. I mean, with Kingdom Hearts 4, we see that when I wasn't expecting Kingdom Hearts 4 until much later, to be honest.
I was sobbing watching that trailer too. I'm like, for real? Wait, like, there's not going to be another like Dream Drop or Birth, but like, are we actually going straight from 3 to 4? What is this world? Like, there's no way.
I know, right? So it's one of those things. It's like, hold up, did he just seriously? We're this soon because let's be real. Between Square Enix games, between announcement and release, unfortunately, Kingdom Hearts 3 being an outlier here, it's been a long time. Like they announced it a long time ago and then finally into production, but it was 13 years since the release of Kingdom Hearts 2, a bunch of games in the middle, and then finally 3.
Yeah. But even still, Dream Drop was the last one, if we don't count like Fragmentary Passage. Dream Drop was the last one before 3, and that was in 2013. So even still, it's a long time.
Yeah, that was 2013, 2019. That was
6 years.
6 years. I couldn't do math for a second.
It's a long time between.
And then you look at other games in Square Enix's repertoire that have had very long production times, i.e. Final Fantasy 15.
Right.
I mean, that one's an entire story in and of itself.
Yeah, that was just development hell.
Yeah. But actually, I'm kind of glad with the product we got because I really enjoy that game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, product placement aside, I still really enjoy that game.
Yeah, totally fair.
But with Kingdom Hearts 3, it's like, finally. And now we're getting 4 this soon, and people are already speculating that Sora is in like an afterlife or something. Because
Sora's straight up dead. Sora straight up dies at the end of 3.
Yeah, because he fades away. Him and Kairi are they're on the palm tree sharing a Palpu fruit, and he fades away. And I'm over here almost crying because I'm like, let them be happy, god damn it.
Yeah, no, he's straight up dead. Yeah. Okay, so here's my minor annoyance that I'm hoping that they're just trying to like misdirect us right now. Because I'm like, listen, Twee is in Kingdom Hearts. It is canon in Kingdom Hearts now. Like those worlds are connected. Mm-hmm. So Sora, again, spoilers for like the secret ending. Sora's fucking dead. Where does he wake up? Shibuya Crossing at the 104 building. Bitch is in the Reaper's game. He is dead as hell. Like, no one can tell me different. And now they're trying to be like, oh, Quadratum is totally not really, it's not Twee. I'm like, it is. Like, no, I'm sorry. It is. And you just need to do that. Like, you need to do that.
And for clarification, Twee is The World Ends With You, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just double checking because when you said Twee, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, The World Ends With You. Yeah, because like they are also spoilers for Twee if y'all don't know. Like, they're all dead. So like, he's dead. He wakes up in Shibuya Crossing. He's dead. So I'm very curious because he keeps saying like, it's not the same Shibuya. It's not the same Shibuya as World Ends With You. It's not. And I'm like, you better be misdirecting because like, if you're not going to do this, I'm going to be so mad.
I mean, Verum right in the. So once again, I don't have the DLC.
Yeah.
But in the ending, like the secret ending, because you do a bunch of stuff, you get the secret ending. Because this is, I always have to do it when I play Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how happy I was when I saw the secret ending for Kingdom Hearts 2? Or like I was playing Kingdom Hearts 2, but then I was like, is that for 3? Because you see 3 Keyblades, you see 3 Night Dudes. This is cool. And then it's Aqua, Terra, and Ventus. And I'm like, well, okay, this is neat. And then it's like, oh, this is, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
But yeah. You see Verum Rex, which I will not lie, I want to play that game.
I mean, let's be real. Verum Rex is Nomura being salty about Versus 13.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm okay with that because it's good. Yeah. Well, and now they're like, Verum Rex is like also real. Like that's heavily implied in that secret ending in the DLC.
Isn't Verum Rex also a boss fight in the DLC?
Yeah, Yozora is the final boss fight of the DLC.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we're going into 4 with some very interesting things because like Kairi is ? I don't know, probably fine and just chilling on Destiny Islands, I guess. But Riku and Sora are clearly in 2 different versions of Tokyo or Quadratum or whatever they're going to call it. Sora is definitely dead, like 100% dead. Obviously, because we see Strelitzia show up, who is extremely dead.
She's in The World Ends With You, right?
No, she's from Union Cross.
Oh, okay. That's like we never even talked about Union Cross.
We didn't talk about Union Cross.
That's the one outlier that I haven't touched.
Okay,
was
so
Union Cross.
Highly, highly, highly recommend watching the story of Union Cross because it's actually very good. It's very irritating to me that it will sort of probably forever live in that mobile game format. There is the movie that's in the 2.8, which is helpful, but it's not the whole story because the whole story hadn't been finished until pretty recently. And there's so much of it that's so interesting. That's like, it adds so much depth to the history of things and to the history of a lot of characters as well, because like Marluxia, Larxene, I think there's a couple of others, but specifically Marluxia and Larxene, they're in the Keyblade War. Like they came from that period of time.
There's somebody in the Keyblade War. And also like people say that Ventus, Ventus' ancestor is there as well. And
no, Ventus is there.
Yeah,
Ventus himself is there, not his ancestor, literally him.
Oh, even worse.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, because apparently because I haven't seen the movie, because once again, the mobile game, like when the first mobile game came out, I thought, okay, this is just a mobile gacha game. I mean, I should have known at this point that Nomura was going to throw big story stuff in there, but I figured I could probably read up on it on the wiki. Because it was like prequel. Yeah. Like Birth by Sleep 10 years before Kingdom Hearts 1, I can dig that.
Yeah.
Union Cross is maybe hundreds, if not thousands of years before Kingdom Hearts, before Birth by Sleep even.
Yeah.
That one, I'm like, I could probably let that one go because all I know is like it's the Grand Keyblade War. Shit went bad. And okay, we got the Masters. So that's where the organization found their stupid coat. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't say stupid. I want one. I would kill for a 13 coat. That's so freaking cool.
Well, they also explain, I think this gets missed a lot, that the coats specifically, they're made of a material that protects you from the realm of darkness, which is why they wear them, because when they're just like hopping through the portals, it protects them. That's why Riku and Mickey wear them when they're like hopping through the realm of darkness.
And here I am thinking that they're just doing it to look cool.
Yeah, I mean, it looks cool too. But yeah, it's specifically made of a material that protects you from the realm of darkness.
Yeah. But I definitely have to look up Union Cross because let's talk about that ending in Kingdom Hearts 3. Fucking Zigbar! What?
Hi!
What? No!
It's actually Luxu!
So he reaches his hand, the Master of Masters Keyblades with the freaking evil of that Keyblade is evil as shit. I don't care what universe you're from. I don't care how you're trying to say you are lawful evil. No, that is an evil ass looking Keyblade. People say, but Mickey's Keyblade is the Keyblade of Darkness. It's just a reverse color swap Keyblade. If there is a true Keyblade of Darkness, that shit is it.
Yeah, it's definitely the unnamed Keyblade.
It's got the freaking eyeball and all that crazy looking shit. And then he's like, here's my black box. And oh, there's a story for you. I'm like, what is happening?
If they don't tell us what's in the goddamn box and tell us his story, I'm going to be livid. And so is every other Kingdom Hearts fan.
And then you got Maleficent with Pete chilling on the side, who I completely forgot they're in the game past Olympus. Oh, yeah. Also, BT dubs. The one time Kingdom Hearts really, okay, it didn't get me mad, but I was pissed, is when during Kingdom Hearts 2, Diablo, Maleficent's Raven, that's his name. Look him up. Look, not for you, but to everyone else listening / watching, Maleficent's Raven's name is Diablo. Look it up. Flies in with the coat, and she just magically comes back to life. I'm sitting there going, no, you're dead. I killed you. I killed you in dragon form, which is, I would still argue, the dragon form Maleficent, hardest non-optional boss fight in Kingdom Hearts.
Agreed.
But so satisfying.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Especially when you spam Tinkerbell.
I got stuck on that fight for so long the very first time I played the game. And that was another one. It took me, it took me days to beat that when I was a kid. Played through it on proud mode this last time, beat it first try. I was like, what happened?
I don't know if hardcore Kingdom Hearts players would call this cheating, but when I finally get her, I put Tinkerbell as my only summon. I abused Tinkerbell so much in Kingdom Hearts 1 when I'm playing. Like the final boss fight, I always have her on. Like every chance I can get when I summon her in, she's in. And because she constantly heals you. When I fight Dragon Maleficent, first thing I do, summon Tinkerbell so I can have a heal and a safety net in case I mess up hard.
Yeah.
Because that's invaluable.
I mean, they give her to you. It's not cheating.
Exactly. And also that way I don't have to waste my own HP to use Cura. I have someone to constantly heal me, and I can just keep my eye on it if I do need to use Cura. And also, I don't have to give any goddamn potions to fucking Donald because he wastes them all the goddamn time. That's why you're not on Smash, you idiot.
Yep. Ugh, Donald. No, see, the running joke now is that Donald is useless because he was saving up all of his magic for the one moment where he's useful in Kingdom Hearts 3.
The Zeta Flare? I mean, I will say that's a really cool move. I'm not gonna
It's a very redeeming moment for Donald.
It is. I mean, even though I will crack jokes on Donald, but if he wasn't in the game, I'd be heartbroken.
Yeah.
I mean, having both him and Goofy in the game is like, you have it's Sora, Donald, and Goofy.
Yeah.
Even though it should be Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, but Sora, Donald, and Goofy, that's the trio. Those are the guys you fight through thick and thin. And it is like, when Goofy dies in 2, I was like, no, they can't do this. Not to Goofy.
I know. I was like, you did not just kill Mom like that.
And I have a really soft spot in my heart for Goofy. Goofy movies are one of my favorite films of all time.
Yes. Oh, man. People talk about putting Goofy movie stuff into Kingdom Hearts all the time. Like, that would be fun. I don't think they'll ever do it, but that would be fun.
I mean, listen, I'm just glad you and I see eye to eye on this.
You
totally...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I was like, oh my God, did it seriously go over your head?
Yeah. A little bit.
It's okay. I'll make you stand out later.
Damn it.
I have a Powerline concert t-shirt, and every time I wear that to Disneyland, some cast member always says it, and I roll with it.
That's awesome.
I would watch the movie just to get to that song. And the one day my parents bought the soundtrack, put it into the car, and both my brother and I perked up and go, Goofy movie!
Yes. It's been so long since I've seen it, but it's such a good movie.
It is fantastic. But yeah, when Goofy gets hit, it's like, no!
Yeah.
Like even when Mickey does all the cool anime thing of taking the robe off and revealing the costume underneath, it's like, get some.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts. So there's one more thing I gotta ask you.
Okay.
What was your initial reaction on that fateful October morning when so many Kingdom Hearts fans cried out in joy that Sora received his Smash Brothers invitation?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Oh my gosh. I know. It's like we've been asking, begging forever. We're just like, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And here we are. Here we are. It's very exciting.
I was up very late the night before. I was working on some articles and I saw, because I knew it was going to be at like 7 a.m. Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like 5 a.m. when I finally went to bed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my sleep schedule sucks. Especially when I come home from work to go back to do more work.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, you know what? No, I'm tired. I'll just, when I wake up in the afternoon, I won't go to Twitter. I won't check my socials. I'll go straight to YouTube, which is what I did. And the thumbnail spoiled it for me.
No, YouTube, why?
It was I punched in Sakurai Presents and it was the thumbnail was Sora. And I'm like, what? Instantly woke up. I mean, I was groggy. My alarms were going off. I was finally turning them off. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll... Like, instant shot of adrenaline. I watched the whole thing. I was like, they did it. They finally did it. Because leading up to that point, talked to my friends, talked to my co-hosts. I told them in my heart, pun not / totally intended, I want Sora.
Yeah.
But my brain is telling me it's going to be Crash. It's going to be Spyro. It's going to be some other big video game character who I can't think of. Which I was not going to be upset.
Yeah.
If it wasn't going to be Sora. What's the point of the one character? I have a bunch of characters in Smash already. I freaked out when Sonic joined the roster in Brawl. Yeah. When Mega Man was a character in 3DS Wii U, I was ecstatic. And then, of course, Cloud shows up and it's even better.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was. Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool to have that.
Did a friend of yours text you or did you find out on your own?
I don't remember. See, I have much more. Honestly, probably my friend Sky texts me because they are also like the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan that has ever lived. If you can't tell by the name that their name is Sky, which is their chosen name. Yeah. And that's also part of the reason I have such fond memories of Birth by Sleep is they were my college roommate. And when Birth by Sleep came out, we were like little gremlins. We like played the multiplayer stuff together. We did not sleep. We did not sleep that week. But yeah, I feel like I saw Sky's posts about it. But then the big one for me was when the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer dropped. And I knew the event was happening and I was at work and I was like, I'll watch it after. Like, it'll be okay. And multiple people text me, holy shit, the trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4. Holy shit, the trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4. And I was like, you're trolling me. I didn't believe them. I was like, there's no way you're trolling me. Like, you're trying to get a rise out of me. This isn't real. And they're like, watch it, dipshit. Like, we're not joking. And I'm like, what?
It's real?
Huh?
It's real?
And especially because I do have the knowledge from Union Cross, like seeing Strelitzio walk into that room, I like almost peed myself. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah.
You were just on another level. I know after I saw the Smash announcement and the Sakurai Presents and the full trailer and just like I screenshotted and someone posted a screenshot of Sora shaking Mario's hand. I saved that because I'm like, there's no way in hell. I also saved the Sora finally arrives screenshot. I finally went to my text messages. My co-hosts on the Fake Nerd podcast, they're like, Ben is going to be so happy when he wakes up. And some of them are even texting me. He's like, dude, you're going to be so happy when you wake up. This is going to be. And then when the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer dropped, the same thing happened. They're like, man, when Ben wakes up, he is going to be ecstatic.
Yes.
And then I jump into our group chat, and I go, ah! Because I was expecting a wait for 4.
Oh my God, yeah.
I think we all were. I mean, game development's hard.
Yeah.
Every single AAA, AA, even indie games, video game developing and coding and creating a video game is hard with a capital H.
Yeah. And it's so much work. You need a huge team. Like, yeah.
like when Kingdom Hearts 3 was delayed from 2018 to 2019, I mean, my friends were giving me shit because I was very adamant, like, it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But then they pushed it from December to January. At that point in time, I'm like, I've waited how many years for this? I can wait a month.
Yeah. And honestly, when stuff like that happens, like now, I'm just like, honestly, good. Because I want a good finished game. If it takes longer for it to be the best it can be, take the time. Because I don't want another situation where they're like rushing to release something, I don't know, like Sonic Boom, and it's unplayable and broken, you know?
Yeah. Oh God. I never played Sonic Boom, but I do remember nightmares from my friends who told me who played Sonic 06.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the dark times.
Yeah. Just broken.
Yeah. And because we don't want, especially in today's day and age, now, even though 06, Twitter was still a thing, but it wasn't as viable a thing as it is now.
Yeah.
You put out something that's quantifiably broken. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, Cyberpunk. You're the most current example to this day and age. You put out something like Cyberpunk that got completely flamed.
Yeah.
Both in reviews, online. It was a broken mess. Same with Fallout 76.
Mm-hmm.
A game that was broken, flamed, and people putting out. I mean, eventually they could create new products.
Yeah.
But with Bethesda and Cyberpunk, these were arguably AAA publishers who should know what they're doing. I will give a pass to No Man's Sky because that's a small indie team.
Yeah.
And they eventually...
And they fixed it.
Yeah. It was... With No Man's Sky, you have a perfect storm of hype and overpromises.
Yes.
It's like they knew what they could do was possible. It just wasn't possible at the release window. But then once the money got involved and, people who give you money expect something like, now.
Mm-hmm.
So they go, oh, shit. But then when they finally release it, people were angry about it. And they're like, how come they're not answering? The best move for them was to say, don't talk, just work.
Yep.
And then when they had something finished, here's what we got.
Yeah.
Oh, this is better.
Yeah.
Don't talk, just work.
Yeah.
And we finished something else. Here you go. Oh, this makes it even more better. Next thing you know, it went from one of the worst games I've possibly ever made to one of the most beloved, and it's still doing great today.
Yeah. That's honestly, I think, one of the few success stories in that situation that like they released a game that was overhyped and overpromised, and they were like, we can and we will fix it. And they did.
Yes.
Whereas like so many other games, they've got a day one patch and it's still broken as hell. And it's just like, it's not okay. Bye.
Yeah, I know the internet, and even me personally, I'm tired of picking on Fallout 76 because that, as far as I know, I've never played it. I'm not much of a Fallout guy.
Yeah, me neither.
I've heard Fallout 76 got a lot better, and it's really good now.
Great.
That's good to hear. I'm still not going to play it.
Same, yeah.
Cyberpunk also, it's gotten a lot better. I can only assume it's good. It's great on the PS5. I would probably like to play on the PS5. I have one downstairs, but Elden Ring is taking up all my time right now, and also I just got Shredder's Revenge, so we're stuck there.
Yeah. And I'm just, like a JRPG whore, so I'm like, not interested.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, the next game I want to get from a PS5 is Tales of Arise, because that's going to be my first Tales game, and I've never played one.
Oh, I think you'll love it. I haven't played Arise yet. It's next on my list, but I've played other Tales games, and they're really good. But
also, my backlog is still staring at me, and with like a knife about to shiv me the second I turn around, so...
Also same, I understand.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but wonderful things about Arise, though, both from longtime Tales fans and from people who this is their first Tales game, so I think you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah, and I mean, I love JRPGs. Bandai Namco, right now, they've been knocking out. I know it's a different team, obviously. They're just a publisher, and the developer is From Software.
Yeah.
But I like me some anime JRPG goodness. I mean, one of my favorite games on the PS2 is Star Ocean.
Yes!
What the fuck is it called?
Oh, I can't remember the
Star Ocean's
subtitle.
the End of Time, that one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was like, what?
I loved that game.
It's like, it's not Second Story. It's not the other one. What the hell? Until the End of Time.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Whatever happened to that series? Is that just like over and done with?
Oh, nope. Still going, but the last game wasn't the best. They have a few remakes. Star Ocean R is a remake of the first one. But I think it's kind of like, it's like if you're a fan of the series, you're going to enjoy it. But if you're not, it's kind of whatever.
That's fair.
But the one game that's kind of my white whale is Star Ocean's second story for the PS1.
Okay.
That one, I've been told, and every time I see it at a secondhand game store, CIB, it is stupid expensive. It's like in the $100 or $200 range, give or take. I could be wrong, but it's been let me look it up. I'll look up a price trend real quick. But yeah, it is. I've been told that it's like one of the best Star Ocean games ever made. Till the End of Time is really good. I mean, I really enjoy it, but it still has a few JRPG problems with it.
Yeah.
I was just staring at my phone. I was like, where was I going to go? Oh, yeah.
What am I looking up? Oh, right. Expensive, overpriced used games.
Yeah, I know, right? Let's see. Oh, this is such great audio. Star Ocean. There we go. Star Ocean, the second story. Oh, okay. I was lying. It's actually, okay, so complete's only $54.
Oh, all right. That's not the worst.
Yeah, brand spanking new is $300, and that's sealed. And I don't need a sealed copy. I just need.
Yeah, who cares?
Okay, so that's actually not that bad.
All
right, I thought it was gonna be a lot worse. Never mind.
Okay,
crisis averted.
There you go.
But yeah, so we're over 2 hours now. So now we're gonna start winding down. But Alissa, with Kingdom Hearts being a cornerstone, earlier we talked about playing Final Fantasy X because of Kingdom Hearts. Did Kingdom Hearts also open you up to other worlds or other games in the JRPG genre? Or
I think probably like indirectly, definitely. Because I can't remember. Like, I'm a huge anime fan too. I'm like, hello, I'm the most nerd of every nerd, and I also don't have super strong memories of my like gateway into that either. But so I think I've always just had this affinity towards the Japanese style of things. And I was actually just talking about this last night. I'm like, American games just like aren't the most interesting to me. And then I see all the JRPGs and I'm like, bright colors, anime characters. I love this. Is it good? I don't know. Can I hit things with a sword and look at like pretty characters? Yeah. So I think that definitely has some part of it for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely say because I love anime action RPGs. I love fantasy RPGs. I haven't gotten much into the sci-fi, even though Star Ocean is a sci-fi.
Yeah.
But I do agree. You got the bright colors, you got the snazzy attacks, and also for me and probably for a few others, I'm sorry, internet, but I got the waifus.
Same.
So many gorgeous waifus. I cannot tell you how many times I was playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I were recruiting girls to my team just because it's like they're pretty. And then the more I was playing the game, it's like I need to save them because I don't want them to get hurt.
I mean, my response to I need all the waifus is Genshin Impact.
Oh, I have stayed far, far, far away from Genshin Impact, but I completely understand what you mean.
I have played Genshin Impact almost every single day since it has been released.
Ooh.
I have a problem.
I don't say you have a problem. You just know what you like.
Yeah.
I've seen people cosplay the Genshin Impact characters, and I see the character models. They are some really good-looking characters, let me tell you.
Honestly, that game is so much better than it has any right to be. I'm like, it's free. How is it this good? Like, what? I don't know. That game kind of blows my mind. It's like the music is incredible. Honestly, the world is stunning. The gameplay is really good. The voice acting, the cast that they get for that game, it's like stupid. They're so amazing.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things. The only negative I've heard about it is that, microtransactions, buying characters and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And you have to put money into the game, but it's mostly, I don't know if it's for cosmetic reasons or I don't know what it is exactly.
Yeah.
But also I'm scared to play Genshin Impact because the same thing, I need all the waifus.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, if you have the time to just like get into it and get into the rhythm of like playing it every day, then once you've like gotten through the main chunks of plot, it's not that time consuming. If you play every day, first of all, you don't have to spend money at all. Like, you actually do not have to spend money to fully experience and enjoy the game. That is a myth. You do, if you want all the waifus, probably have to spend some money. But again, if you literally play like religiously every day, you have a pretty good chance of just like getting most of them without having to spend much money, if any at all.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, that's a nice little Genshin Impact PSA for you.
That's my listen. I really like Genshin. Okay, thanks. Someone sponsor me. Thank you.
No.
MiHoYo, sponsor me.
I mean, shit. If you want to sponsor me and let me stream as a first timer, I'm not gonna say no to that.
MiHoYo, sponsor us.
Give me a great way to start playing the game to get me away from Elden Ring, because that's probably what I'm going to do when we're done with this.
That's fair.
Or finally punch a Melody of Memory, because that's another game. I got that game on sale from Amazon for like $10.
Oh,
and
good.
Originally I wasn't gonna get the game, and then I saw the trailer for it. I was like, oh, cool, rhythm games. It's got the music. We haven't really talked a lot about the music of Kingdom Hearts. Music is absolutely gorgeous. It's stunning.
It's incredible.
I mean, come on. Every time I hear I have told my girlfriend, I know it's like when we have decided when we get married.
Yeah.
I actually told her this. I'm like, look, I know it's your wedding. I know it's all rules by you, but just consider walking down the aisle to this, and I play Dearly Beloved.
Yes.
Like if she were to walk down the aisle to Dearly Beloved from Kingdom Hearts 2, I would freaking lose my mind.
Mm-hmm.
The tears would start before the priest, whoever the officiant is going to start talking.
Yeah. No, Yoko Shimomura is incredible. As far as I'm concerned, she can do no wrong. She's so brilliant. And of course, Utada Hikaru with the opening and ending themes. Like, it's a perfect combination. It's so good.
It's not a Kingdom Hearts game without them.
Nope. And I cannot wait to see what Utada has in store for 4.
I can't wait to hear what's going to happen for Dearly Beloved in 4, because I love how every single Kingdom Hearts game has a different rendition of Dearly Beloved.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say my favorite one is either Dream Drop or 2.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one that's the first one that gets to your heartstrings, but then the more you listen to it, it's like, man, they did a really good job with 2.
Yeah.
Like every time I boot the game, it goes do 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 do. It's like, ooh, so getting me it's like, oh man, getting me in the feels already. Disney Square, come on now.
It's so good. Yeah.
Also, Disney, put more Kingdom Hearts merch in Disneyland, please.
Please, can we just have Kingdom Hearts World, please? Please.
I mean, Kingdom Hearts World is Disney World.
Just I want Twilight Town.
I'm sorry.
Give me Twilight Town. Give me Traverse Town.
If you go down Buena Vista Street in DCA, that's kind of like Twilight Town. You got the trolley.
You got to give us the merch, though. We got to have the merch to believe it.
Oh, yeah. So the story I told you earlier, before we started recording this, about how I was trying to find a Keyblade back in 2002 when the game first came out.
Yeah.
So I drove my mother 100-mile radius to Toys R Us's, Target, Kmart, calling the toy departments. They didn't have it. And the reason why I was consistently doing this is because there's one kid in my class who swore he had it, but never showed me photographic evidence that it existed.
Liar.
Yeah, sus all the way.
Uh-huh.
And one day we finally, Disneyland was always a huge trip for my family. I mean, we weren't poor, but it was definitely one of those trips that my brother and I had to beg and plead with our parents to go. And then when we finally did, we had to be on our best behavior, because if we screwed this up, we would be going home.
You're never going to get it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're never going to go back. So we go to Disneyland, and on our way to Disneyland, I think to myself, okay, if any place is going to have a Keyblade,
it's here.
It's Disneyland. Not a single person knew what I was talking about.
So upsetting. I
think maybe one person knew what Kingdom Hearts was, but they said, oh yeah, we don't have any Keyblades. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have any We're going through the gift shop on Main Street. When it was there, the heraldry shop behind the castle that actually sold swords from different franchises, mind you, i.e. the Lord of the Rings.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's gone now. But back in the day, they had it because it was half a sword shop, half heraldry shop, where you can look up your names, like your last name, and find your family tree.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was because of that. I think I'm part British, because I looked up my mom's side of the family. Her name was in the book. I go to ask to see the coat of arms. They showed it to me. It said England, and the whole rest of the day I was talking in a British accent to annoy my friends.
That's incredible.
And then I get home, I tell my parents, like, hey, did you know we're part English? They look at me and go, what?
They didn't know?
Well, I tell them the reasoning why, and they're like, well, maybe?
That's funny.
I mean, we know we're mostly German and Scandinavian because, blonde hair, blue eyes, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's
but
fair.
Still, part British, that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, they didn't have it. World of Disney didn't have it. And as a consolation prize, my parents did buy me a toy sword.
Nice.
They had like a toy wizard sword that was like a crystalline sort of blade. Ooh. So, because my dad felt bad because he knew like we were having a great day at Disneyland, but every time I can like sneak into a shop, I would go ask for it. Even if we were in somewhere like Frontierland where they shouldn't have it.
Yeah, you're like, do you know? Do you have the information?
It's like, is this real? Do you have it? And they're like, oh, we don't know. I'm sorry. Our toy weapons are over there, and they're all guns and bows, and Frontierland stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe Fantasyland. It's like I checked Fantasyland already. They said no.
Yeah.
It's like, well, maybe Main Street. I checked Main Street on the way in. They said no.
They said no. Yeah.
Maybe World Disney. They better. And they did. But it was all in all, when I finally got my Keyblade, yeah, I was a very happy boy. And then I go to Spirit and I got mad. And then my girlfriend bought me the Pumpkinhead and I bought the Oblivion because it was the last, because I didn't know how much longer they were going to have it. And I'm like, I need this in my life.
Nice. Yeah, when I found all of these ones, I was like, boy, isn't it fun to have adult money? I moved into this house and I was like, it's a tax deduction. It's for my streaming setup. Buys all the Keyblades.
Nice. I can actually, you know what made me really mad? I went to Best Buy on Black Friday the year in the months Kingdom Hearts 3 was going to come out. Mm-hmm. I walk in the Best Buy. There's a freaking Keyblade, officially licensed Keyblade, not from Spirit. It has like a foam thing so you can whack people with it and it doesn't hurt them fully. Mm-hmm. With like the detachable keychain and everything.
Rude.
And I was like, I want this. And then my girlfriend's like, but you have the wooden one already. I was like, yeah, but this is like the official one.
Yeah.
And I also lamented about how 12-year-old me was screaming because I have been looking for that for how many years at this point in time?
Yeah, too long.
Yeah, way too long. But now we live in a world where finding a Keyblade, thankfully, you don't have to drive 100 miles.
No, you can order them on Amazon.
You can find. Oh, God, we had a hard time. So one more story. I'm sorry. If you want me to stop the stories, let me know.
You're good.
Last Halloween, she and I dressed up as Sora and Kairi.
Yes.
And we ordered her a all these photos are on my Instagram. So if you guys whoever's listening / watching, Ben Magnet 27 on Instagram, you got to scroll a few months, but it's Halloween. And it's me because I have Sora's little pumpkin thing on my head from Halloween.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
And a homemade Smash Bros. Invitation.
Called it.
Yep.
Freaking called it.
Oh, no, this was after the announcement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we were trying to find Kairi's Keyblade for my girlfriend. So, it was her prop.
Right.
So we buy it on Amazon. It shows up, but the paint it's a very poor quality Keyblade. I mean, the ones from Spirit were good, but this is from a different company. I mean, It was officially licensed, which is good, but like the paint was chipped. It just looked horrible. So we returned it.
Yeah.
We didn't get the second. We were waiting for a second one. We get sent the wrong item.
Of course.
So now I'm on the phone. I'm trying to get in touch with Amazon and be like, yo, I never got my order. Where is it? We need it because our party's tomorrow. It's like, don't worry. It'll be there the day of. Okay, what time? Between 4 and 8 o'clock in the morning, right? And it's like, it shows up at the literal twilight, at the literal 11th hour.
Oh
before we're walking out the door to leave. We checked our outside on our patio. There's a box. Thankfully, it's not a big ass box because the first time it was a super huge box. A little smaller poly bag, better condition. Some paint was still chipped off, but we figured, F it, we gotta go.
Like, yeah. Goodness gracious.
Mm-hmm.
Well, y'all are adorable. I definitely just found that picture. I was like, I gotta see it.
Yeah, and
So
also
cute.
good cosplay ideas for when we go back to cons.
I miss cons so much.
I wanted to go to WonderCon, but things came up. I wasn't able to go.
Yeah.
I want to go. And then Anime Expo is coming up at the time of this recording, and then it's like, I feel like it's mocking me because I could go, but I shouldn't go because I'm going to Europe at the end of July, and I need to save money for that.
Yeah.
Because Lord knows if I go to, because I had never been to Anime Expo before, and Lord knows if I go to Anime Expo, yo boy's coming back with debt.
Yes. 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 Just yes.
It's like, what'd you get at Anime Expo? Well, I got a bunch of manga, I got some waifu figures, also debt, but also I got this. What was that middle part? Waifu figures?
Yeah, see, my lament about cons is that the last con I went to before the pandemic, I was working. I was part of RTX with a friend of mine who's a game dev, and so I was working. Yeah.
Oh, nice! I did not know that.
Yeah. So one of my friends had an indie booth for his game, and so I was working with him. I was his booth babe. And I cosplayed the main character of his game and was like, nerds, come here. Aren't you so excited? A woman is talking to you. And they were like, oh my God. And we were like, great, let us sell you our game. But once you've been on the inside, it's so hard to go back. I'm like, wait, I don't want to be the normies. I want my special badge that lets me go to the industry parties and like hang out with all the cool kids. So I'm like, oh, I've been spoiled. Oh no.
I will say, I mean, I haven't been invited to any industry parties yet. But I will say, thanks to doing with this podcast, Fake Nerds, and now with all me game publishing magazine and writing for magazines, I got a better shot of getting those special privilege badges.
Heck yeah.
And also a better shot of getting press badges because I know a convention is coming up in Portland, Oregon that I'm planning to go to with a buddy of mine. And I'm going to try and get us some free passes for that because, press badges get to go in for free.
Heck yeah.
Like we're technically working.
Mm-hmm.
Wink.
Yep. I love that.
And also we're going to spend like a whole bunch of money because that's after my Europe trip. And I know once I come back, I'm going to try and save up as much as I could, not just for the plane flight, but also because it's a retro video game convention and your boy got to do some hunting.
Oh, yeah.
Probably for The World Ends With You if I could find it for under $100.
Honestly, yeah.
All right. Well, this is now the longest episode we've ever done for Pause Menu. So we're going to, like Kingdom Hearts, we're going to finally somewhat wrap it up. But Alissa, thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Seriously. I tell us open invite. You want to come on, you just hit me up. You're more than welcome to come back on and talk. It could be about Kingdom Hearts. Could be about something different. Who knows?
I love it. I love being on podcasts. I'm always like, yes, more podcasts.
Yeah. So, Alissa, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on the internet at Divatron9000 on basically everything. I'd stream on Twitch. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. If you're interested in my opera shenanigans, most of my social media is merged for better or worse. But you can check out my website, AlissaRoca.com, or my opera company's website, ParadoxOpera.org, which is freshly launched. It's real spicy. I'm very excited about it because I'm a lunatic. Brief anecdote, and I started an opera company during the pandemic because I didn't have anything better to do. We are a real registered 501c3. Our first production is coming up in July, which is like right now. Oh my God. So if you're interested in that at all and want more information, paradoxopera.org and also at Paradox Opera on literally all socials. I think that's all the places that I exist.
And also, I'm going to plug your episode on the Lack of Genius podcast. I want to say that was episode 30. Shoot.
I can find it.
If you just go through, if you find the Lack of Genius podcast on anywhere you listen to a podcast, just scroll down a little bit. It's up in like the 30s and early 40s episode numbers. Then you'll see it because it has Opera with Alissa. It'll have her name on it. It's right there. It's like 2 episodes before my Mario one.
It is episode 41.
I was right.
Yes.
I mean, not gonna lie, I did re-listen to that episode this week to prepare for today. So
that was so much fun. Yeah, if you want a good like intro to opera, I think that was a pretty fun episode for stuff like that.
I mean, I'm still surprised that they have subtitles.
Yeah, I wanted to. When they asked me about this, I was like, okay, I got to come in with like the things that I think are the most basic, but that people think are the most preventative and be like, myths, myths, myths. Yeah.
I mean, because I was also re-listening to it, and my main thing of opera is Queen Night at the Opera, which I know not technically opera, but come on, Bohemian Rhapsody is freaking amazing. I will still die on that hill. And the Looney Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Kill the wabbit, kill the wabbit. I mean, how can you not? How can you not?
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
So yeah, Alissa, it was an absolute blast to talk Kingdom Hearts with you. I cannot wait to talk to you more about other video game stuff. I know we probably have a lot more stuff to talk about.
Heck
especially JRPGs.
Oh yeah. Oh
I mean,
yeah.
This year is Final Fantasy's 35th anniversary.
Wow, that's so wild.
And I do have a few Final Fantasy games under my belt that we can talk about.
Man, then I'm going to be like, wow, I am so not the expert. I've played 10 to completion. I've played 7 remake to completion. And that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm very behind.
I mean, there's like how many Final Fantasy games, and I'm not counting the numbered ones?
Too many.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're getting 16 soon, so.
And I'm very excited about that.
Me too. Also, re-release Tactics, goddammit.
Yeah. I know. I am really excited about the re-release of Crisis Core.
Me too. Oh,
yeah.
That's it. See, another PlayStation Portable game. Everyone says it's one of the best games in the series. I haven't played it because my PSP went to shit.
Well, now you're going to get the updated version, which is super exciting.
And I'm also kind of hoping that it's not been overhyped for me like Birth by Sleep was. But this is worked from the ground up. And who knows, they might have tweaked the combat system a little bit to make it work better on fully formed consoles. Not to say the PSP wasn't a fully formed console. It was a great handheld.
Yeah.
But there's more buttons to put on now. And I'm still really excited.
Yeah, there's so much exciting stuff coming up in like all of gaming world. It's kind of insane. It's impossible to keep up with, which is so frustrating because like I'm sure you're like me and you're like, but I want to play all of them.
Yeah, and also being a retro gamer, it's like, oh cool, I now have, like you said, adult money. I can go buy the games I either never owned or couldn't own as a child. And then it's like, oh, these games are expensive, but I have adult money, and then my backlog keeps growing and growing and growing. And then it's like, oh, but I have to go to work and I have other stuff. I have other commitments. And then, oh no, the sadness and the darkness is creeping in. I can't handle it all.
And then add on top of that, being a streamer and being like, well, I want to stream this, but then I also want to stream this, but do I want to save this for myself? Well, I don't have enough time to stream all the things. So like, and then the backlog grows even more because you are like, well, I want to stream this, but I don't have time to stream right now. But like, if I play it by myself, then I'm not going to want to stream it. It's impossible.
Yeah. And then you do what I do, who is streaming Elden Ring, but also I'm streaming Elden Ring when I can. And then when I just want to play the game, I go ahead and play the game. So if you were to watch me one day and then you catch my next stream, it's like, where the frack did you go? It's like, oh yeah, so last time on Elden Ring, this is what I did.
Yeah.
But anyways, once again, thank you again so much for being on the show. It was absolute blast. Go ahead, follow Alissa. She's amazing. I'm so sorry I haven't seen any of your Twitch streams yet. It's just every time you stream, I'm at work.
I know.
It hurts. It breaks my soul. But yes, anyways, follow Alissa. Follow the Fake Nerd Podcast. Like, subscribe, do all the things. You can follow me personally at BenMagnet27 on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Sometimes I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/BenMagnet27. Sometimes I don't, but life, scheduling. My stream schedule is technically Tuesdays and Saturday mornings at 2 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's 2 a.m. my time too. That's even worse.
Tuesdays at 2 a.m. I'll keep my eyes out. Sometimes I'm on late enough on Tuesdays.
Well, isn't that early for you where you are?
What's later for me?
Oh, okay.
Because I'm 3 hours ahead of you.
Yeah, but it's 2 a.m.
Right.
Yeah, 2 in the morning. That's like 5 a.m. for you, right?
Yeah, on occasion I'm on that late.
Oh, okay.
Because I stream Tuesday, Friday, Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
And every now and then we have a day where I'm accidentally on way too late.
Yeah. I know the feeling. I definitely know the feeling.
Yeah.
But of course, you're watching this on the Fake Nerd Podcast YouTube channel. All of our stuff is here. We just finished up, or by the time of this recording, we just finished up our Fake Nerd watch of Obi-Wan Kenobi, the series on Disney Plus.
So good.
We're doing Miss Marvel right now. So we're gonna hit that up. The guys started The Boys. I might be on the next episode. I need to catch up because things. But yeah, everything's here. Check it out. One more time. It's awesome. And because it's Kingdom Hearts, may your heart be your guiding key.
Yes.
And unpause.